Hello guys, welcome back to my channel and enjoy this fanfic part 3. Now let's start the fanfic. 1 year later, around summer time going into fall, Naruto and Tayuya are 13. The sounds of birds are heard singing, signifying that another day started. Tayuya wakes up with a groan as she sits up on the bed she shares with her Naru-kun. Her hair is a mess as some strands are on her face and the rest covers the pillow. She stretches and looks to her left. She giggles, seeing Naruto sleeping, then proceeds to smack him. Wake up. Naruto groans and sits up, looking at Tayuya with half-lidded eyes. Why you hit me, woman? He asks. Tayuya giggles. Because I can. She kisses his lips as he kisses her back. Sleep well. I did. Till someone hit me. Naruto groans and stretches, then gets up and walks to the window. He opens the curtains as the sunlight goes in. All he has on are boxer briefs, orange and red in color. He scratches his red hair as Tayuya walks behind him and hugs him. All she has on is a nightgown. The window faces the backyard that has a pond, a pool with a deck, plenty of room to run around, some trees and a field to practice on. You shower first, and I will get our clothes out, Naruto says as he turns around in Tayuya's arms and kisses her gently. She giggles and kisses back. Okay, Koi. The two of them split as she heads to the joint bathroom while Naruto goes into the walk-in closet. While Tayuya prepares herself for the day, Naruto takes out some clothes for himself. He puts them on the queen-sized bed that has orange and red covers. He has a black shirt with the Konoha leaf on the front in red and the Uzumaki swirl on the back in orange. He has a pair of black shorts with deep pockets. It has red and orange trimmings. He goes back into the closet and pulls out an orange dress with black flower petals swirling around and short sleeves. On the right sleeve is the Konoha symbol in red. He also gets a pair of black biker shorts and a beanie that makes the hairs on the front give Tayuya a unique look, well for him anyway. He sets the clothes on the bed. The bathroom door opens as Tayuya comes out with a towel around her body. You always do this, Naruto says with a chuckle. Tayuya saunters forward and kisses his lips. He kisses back. Of course. I like teasing my Koi. But, we have to wait until you get the estate since Tsunade-sama has rules. Tayuya says with a pout. I know. But stop teasing or I will tease you back. She giggles as Naruto walks into the bathroom with Tayuya's towel. Naruto takes his shower as Tayuya dresses. After sitting down on a chair in front of a table with a mirror, she brushes her hair as she waits for Naruto. She looks at the photo that is framed next to the mirror. It contains her father, mother, and herself, but as a newborn in her arms. However, the face and body of her father are covered in black marker. But, what is interesting on the picture is the second newborn in her mother's arm. Tayuya thinks back when she asked her mother about the other baby. Flashback. 2 years before she ran away. Tayuya was in her bedroom, gently playing her flute as she sat on the bed. She always liked to play the instrument before sleeping. All she had on was an oversized shirt and some underwear under it. The moon shined gently inside her bedroom. The bedroom was not exactly rundown, but it wasn't fancy or new. More like a motel bedroom. But she didn't mind. All she needed was her flute and her parents. And food also. She kept playing when the door opened, and her mother walked in. Tayuya stopped as she looked at her mom. I always like when you play your flute, Tayu-chan. Thanks, Ka-san, Tayuya said meekly. Her mother smiled as she sat down on the bed and gently held her. She hummed softly as Tayuya laid her head on her mother's side. Ka-san. Her mother looked at Tayuya as she stopped humming. I've been wondering, who is that other baby in your arms in the picture? Her mother's eyes gently widened before slowly closing them. She sighed gently and looked at Tayuya. I knew you might ask one of these days. Please don't hate me or your father, but that baby is your twin sister. We had to give her to an orphanage since we couldn't take care of 2 children. Tayuya looked at her as her mother shed a silent tear. You have to understand, we aren't exactly wealthy and taking care of 1 child is enough. Please, Don't hate me, Tayuya-chan. Tayuya gave her a gentle hug. I don't hate you, Ka-san, but I kinda understand. Her mom hugged her back as she nodded softly. She then looked at her child. Tayuya, when you get older, can you do one thing for me, baby? Tayuya nodded gently. Please find her. Her name is Kin and has your last name. At least, I hope she does. Please find her and let her know that I was wrong in separating you. I do still love her, even if I had her for a short time. Tayuya nodded again and hugged her. Okay, Ka-san. I will. End flashback. Tayuya gently sheds a tear as she looks at the picture. I will find you, Kin. I haven't stopped searching. Tayuya gently wipes her tear and goes back to brushing her hair. Naruto watches, but doesn't say anything. He knows of her goal and would help her always. Tayuya gently hums the tune her mother used to sing to her before she went to bed. She starts to think somethings before wondering what to do today. What to cook for breakfast and lunch. She thinks to herself as she keeps brushing. Maybe our morning curry. We haven't had that in a while. And some dumplings with sweet and sour sauce for lunch. Naruto says. Tayuya turns and sees him with a towel around his waist and hair dry. Tayuya drools from seeing his toned body. Naruto grins as he walks over and closes her mouth, then wipes her drool. Tayuya blushes. Meanie. She pouts. I said I would tease. He giggles. Naruto gently kisses her. Still think about them? He asks softly. Tayuya gently nods as she looks at him. We will find her, Tayuya-chan. That is a promise and I don't go back on them. He tells her. I know. And thank you. She gently kisses him on the lips as he kisses back, then walks to the bed. Naruto takes off the towel, revealing boxers as he starts to dress. Tayuya pouts. Their room consists of things that both of them like. From music notes to plushies, ramen and red beans, and the colors orange, red, and black with some whites, blues, and yellows thrown around. The bed is orange and red in color. The doors, dressers, and nightstands are black oak. The hardwood floor is the only thing that isn't painted, but they have red and orange rugs around some spots. The curtains are dark blue with orange streaks. After dressing up, Naruto walks over and picks up his guitar, which is still an acoustic guitar, but now has an electric guitar style on the other side, and straps it to his back. He also picks up the sword that belonged to the Uzumaki clan that he found in Uzu. He only started using it recently since at the academy, he took up kenjutsu classes that were made after their little outburst of sorts the first time they arrived. It is 3 feet long and double-bladed with a black hilt. It is inside a black sheath that has the Uzumaki symbol at the tip end in white. Also, nearby are other instruments, like drums, keyboards, other types of guitars, even violins and a cello. Each has their own style on the front and are unique in casting different genjutsu and wind element ninjutsu. All of the instruments together with some clones can be used to cast a huge genjutsu and wind jutsu to take down multiple enemies. They also have seals to summon them should they need them on the battlefield without taking them out from a scroll. Naruto turns to Tayuya, who stands up after finishing her brushing. On her left leg is a kunai pouch and on her back is a pouch for her flute. She also has a small tanto on her right leg. Ready, babe? Naruto asks. Ready, Naru-kun. They both walk out and head downstairs. The house they live in has 3 floors with a basement at the bottom. The first floor contains a huge restaurant-style kitchen, a huge dining room with a table that seats 12 with a smaller one for little kids for whoever comes over. The living room is wide and long with 2 L-shaped sofas that seat 10 each, 2 love chairs, a coffee table in the center and 2 recliners on the ends of the sofas. There is a huge entertainment system at the end, away from the front door, with a huge TV and various movies and electronics. There is a hallway that leads to the backyard, the 2 half bathrooms, and the basement. The basement is mainly for storage and laundry, but also has a private hot spring that can handle 6 people. The second floor contains the bedrooms for Naruto and Tayuya, Tsunade, Shizune, and 3 guest bedrooms. Each has their own bathroom except for two guest rooms having a joint bathroom. The third floor is the dojo that contains everything that you would find in a dojo, but sometimes is used for sleepovers. All in all, the house is a mansion in a word. The rest of the compound has some regular-sized houses and a spot for the estate that Naruto will get later on. It's bigger than the Hyuga compound, which the Hyugas became irked when they saw the place. The two of them walk into the kitchen and start prepping for breakfast and lunch. Wonder if Nei-chan and Ba-chan are awake. Naruto says. Not sure, but our food will wake them up. Tayuya reassures. They take out, cut up, and prep everything that would go into the curry. It takes a good 5 minutes to prepare that. While the curry cooks, they start to make the dumplings. How many would be good, Naruto? Tayuya asks. Knowing how good our dumplings are, I wouldn't be surprised if people asked. So, at least enough for all of us and maybe some backups. Naruto says. They make 6 per lunch box for everyone in the house, then make 4 backups for each, a total of 20 boxes. Naruto makes the sauce as Tayuya cooks the dumplings. When the dumplings become done, they put them in the boxes with a small dish of sauce, then seal up the boxes. They found out a long time ago that if you seal food or anything, it stays fresh, like time doesn't affect them. They mark each seal, then put them aside as they check the curry. The smell hits them hard when they lift the lid as they sigh in content. The smell goes upstairs and wakes the two women up. Naruto and Tayuya bring the pot to the dining room where the clones set up for the 4. They chuckle when they hear footsteps upstairs. That woke them up. Naruto says as they put the pot in the center, then pour some into the bowls. They sit down and eat after an itadakimasu. The two teens talk and eat until they see Shizune and Tsunade, along with Taunton, walk down. Morning, sleepyheads. Naruto says. Morning, you two. Shizune says. Tsunade stifles a yawn. Sleep well, Ba-chan. Tsunade grumbles as she sits on a chair and starts to eat too. I guess not. Tayuya says. After breakfast, the 4 go their own way as Naruto and Tayuya head for the academy. They both get some glares after the village found out the town pariah returned. Some tried to do something, and all ended up in the hospital. Since then, no one messed with Naruto or Tayuya. Most say hi since they actually missed Naruto and his pranks. He brought some joy and sunshine to the village, so to speak. After his leaving, the village seemed dark somehow. Well, boring and quiet would be the better phrase. Since he came back, the village seemed brighter like it was before with the pranks. The two of them make it to the academy and head inside. They walk to the classroom and walk in as they see some of the students inside. Since their first day there, almost half of the kids quit after the two said the truth, but most stayed out of stubbornness. They waved to some of their friends. Kiba, who has Akamaru on his head, Shikamaru, Choji, Shino, and some others. Tayuya made friends with Ino after she defected from the Sasuke fan club since Naruto kept kicking his every time he wanted a rematch. Some of the girls did too. In fact, Naruto has his own fan club, to the annoyance of Tayuya. Ino is president of that, but she knows not to push Tayuya too far. Tayuya has her own club, but the guys, and some girls, are quiet since Naruto can send them to the hospital. So can Tayuya after one guy touched her the wrong way on the wrong spot. They both sit down at their desks as they talk with some of their friends near them. The door opens as Sasuke walks in and sits in his spot, sulking and brooding like always. Later, Hinata walks in and as always, she glares at Tayuya. This happens every morning. Like Sasuke and Naruto are rivals, Hinata and Tayuya are rivals, more so than the boys. Naruto is Sasuke's rival since he is above Sasuke on points for Rookie of the Year, while Tayuya is Hinata's rival for the same reason, but also because Hinata has a crush on Naruto. Tayuya found out the first week in the year and Hinata has been trying to get him, always failing since Tayuya is obsessive over Naruto. The two girls stare each other down, making the students there sweat drop, even though every day is the same. They swear they see some lightning flash between them. Pale-eyed bitch. Red-headed. They growl before Naruto sits Tayuya down. Calm down. And you sit. I don't want the last day to go bad. Naruto says. They all look at him. You all forgot it's graduation day, didn't you? Everyone hangs their heads at that as Naruto snickers. Well, it is, so hope you all practiced, he says in a sing-songy voice. Hinata huffs and sits down, crossing her arms. These four have their own nicknames. For Tayuya, it's the red-headed Tsunade for her crazy strength and basically being similar to her in most areas. For Naruto, it's Blaze Fox for his speed and it makes his hair look like fire when he moves, and he wanted the word fox in it too. For Hinata, it's the Ice Queen for her bitchy personality and cold demeanor. For Sasuke, it's Blue Storm for his hair. He may not be as fast as Naruto or Tayuya, but no one else can match him. Since the second day Naruto and Tayuya arrived, the academy changed, for the better in most, if not all the students' eyes. There is still the history, much to everyone's dismay, but also more classes like a better Genjutsu class, a medic nin class, Kenjutsu, and Fuinjutsu, although that class is small since, 1. Not that many people know the sealing arts that well, and 2. Not that many students had what is known as the gift, or basically able to read or hear the seals. Only 3 kids have that, Naruto included, but others tried, and some are not amateur, but not intermediate either as stated in the 4 ranks in Fuinjutsu. But all academy students did learn to at least seal things. Every jutsu class teaches the students D rank only jutsus. Also, they were all tested on their affinities. Only a small amount has lighting and wind since fire and earth are the most common affinities in Konoha. There are also a small number of students that take Kenjutsu. Naruto, Sasuke, Tayuya and, somehow, Shikamaru are the top students, even if Shikamaru thinks it's troublesome, but does it because his mother told him to pick one of the extra classes. They also had a class that took a day that was led by Anko Mitarashi and Ibiki Morino. It dealt with death and torture. It wasn't a pretty class. They even had all of the students kill a rabbit or a chicken to see how they reacted to killing. After all, in the ninja world, it is kill or be killed. It gave the kids a reality check and a good amount quit the academy after that. Another addition is the weekly Jonin and Chunin visits that occur every Friday. They would tell them of life experiences, what they have done to contribute to the village, and how to improve upon themselves. They sometimes took them outside to spar. Some Anbu also came, but never revealed their identities. Neko is the busiest of them all since she, along with some others, are the teachers for the Kenjutsu class. She doesn't really hate it, but is happy some of the students want to learn Kenjutsu. However, only one Jonin never really appeared much, maybe once. It was Kakashi Hatake and he put a new spin on, making an excuse. Some of the kids that were there, since most became sick for some reason, were baffled at his laziness, and he is a Jonin for Kami's sake, but he did give out some few pointers. Also after the academy since the year they returned to the village, the two trained and exercised with the Hokage. Some of the Anbu watching over him even got into it. Let's just say he and the Anbu became in better shape in that short time than they did almost their whole life. The meals the two of them prepared helped also. Kakashi sometimes came, but he learned a lot also, like when Jiraiya came to check on the exercise or actually to check on the women. He made one tiny mistake and all the Kunoichi Anbu, along with Tayuya, came after his. Naruto's and Kakashi's respect for women went up tenfold. Naruto, Tayuya, Kiba, Shikamaru, Choji, and Shino talk about what might happen today. Well, Shikamaru and Shino don't really talk as much. The door opens again as Sakura and Ino walk in. After Ino defected, their relationship restarted, so to speak, and became friends again, but are still rivals in the fan club president department. Ino knows that Sasuke doesn't really care for them while Naruto is fine with it. He even acknowledges the girls. Tayuya has no problems since they know Naruto is hers. She knows he attends the club meetings sometimes to help them out and be kunoichi and try to break them from the disease, fangirlitis, even though he does it in secret. Tayuya helps out with that too. Even Hinata has a fan club, a small one though since she hates everyone, well almost. She likes Naruto and some of her family, including her sister Hanabi and cousin Neji. She can tolerate them, sometimes. Ino and Sakura split ways as Sakura heads to her club and Ino to hers. There is small talk heard in the class until Iruka walks in with Mizuki, interrupting the chatter. Morning class. Well, today is a special day because today you guys get to do the Genin exams. Which means today is the last day for academy for you all. Iruka tells them. The class nods, remembering what Naruto said. So, everyone, follow me. Iruka says as the class gets up and follows him. The day is spent testing the students in kunai and shuriken throwing, taijutsu, ninjutsu, and genjutsu. Back in the class, the final test consists of the students doing 3 basic jutsu, henge, kawarimi, and bushin. Everyone passes, Naruto being the rookie of the year, Sasuke coming in second, on the boys' side. Tayuya has the highest of the girls and ties with Naruto, but she gives the title to him. They also do additional tests for Fuinjutsu, Kenjutsu, and the medical arts. Some do well, while others don't. Naruto, being Uzumaki and having gone to his clan's birthplace, passes Fuinjutsu with top honors. Tayuya does too since she went also and had some practice with Naruto. Everyone leaves the academy as Tayuya and Naruto head to Ichiraku's to celebrate, even though they ate. Although, they shared their lunch with their friends and ran out, even the backups. The two arrive and sit down on their spots. Nei-chan, you in. Naruto yells to the back. Ayame walks out. Naruto. Tayuya. What's up? The two of them grin as they point to their headbands. Ayame smiles from seeing their Hitai-8 on their foreheads. Congrats, you two. So, gonna celebrate here, right? They nod as they hear some people come in. They turn and see Kiba, Shino, Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino walk in. Hey guys. Hey Naruto. Tayuya. Kiba says. The others greet them as they sit down. Ayame see their forehead protectors. So, you guys passed too, huh? Congrats. The group nods and grins. So, what you guys want? She asks. Well, I want my usual since some people ate our lunch. Naruto says as he and Tayuya glare at the group. They chuckle sheepishly, including Shino. Well, the dumplings were delicious. Ino says. Yeah, well, this time eat your own food, you guys. We spent a lot of time making them. Tayuya says with a pout. Sorry, but they were delicious. You guys should open your own restaurant. Choji says. I'm not sure Nei-chan might like that. Naruto says as Ayame nods. Well, you can work for us. She says. Hey, maybe, but for now, we are gonna be ninjas. Tayuya says. The others nod. So, usual for Naruto, Ayame starts. Usual for me. Tayuya says. I want 3 bowls of beef ramen and a small bowl of broth with some meat for Akamaru. Kiba says as Akamaru barks. I want 3 bowls of beef, 3 of chicken, 3 of pork, and 1 large miso ramen. Choji says, making the group look at him as Naruto chuckles. I will have the vegetable miso ramen. Ino says. I will have 2 miso ramen. Shino says. I will have 2 chicken ramen. Shikamaru says with a tired tone. Ayame writes it all down then walks to the kitchen. To-san, we have a huge order. She calls out. The teens start talking with one another. So, who do you think will be in teams? Kiba asks. Well, not sure, but I better not be with Sasuke. Naruto says. Everyone nods to that, or the ice bitch. Tayuya adds. Everyone laughs at that. I'm just wondering who will get Kakashi-san as Jonin. Naruto says. Who? Ino asks. You guys ever see a guy with a mask on his face, spiky silver hair, and has an orange book in hand, giggling sometimes? Tayuya asks. They nod. He is the laziest ninja ever. Strong but lazy. He is late for a lot of things. Actually, he came once to the academy, but never really did anything. Although, I think most students were homesick. Naruto says, wondering. The rest, except Kiba, gasp at that. That's. Choji says. Troublesome. Shikamaru says. They talk some more before their orders come out. They gasp slightly at Choji's order, but bulge their eyes from seeing Naruto's and Tayuya's orders. Ino looks at the bowls in front of Tayuya, then looks at her figure. Where does she pack it away? She eats more than Choji and looks better than me. She thinks. If you are wondering, Ino, I train a lot. Like every day. Tayuya says. Ino blushes from hearing that, wondering how she read her mind. And I saw your eyes, so don't worry about me reading your mind. Ino nods, still blushing as the group laughs. They say, Itadakimasu, and break their chopsticks, then dig in. Best ramen ever. Naruto says. The others agree. So, you guys know how the team picking goes? Kiba asks. They put the best and smartest students with the worst. Like you, Naruto, and Tayuya can be in one group. It's usually 2 guys and 1 girl. Kiba nods, then looks at Shikamaru. Hey, are you calling me dumb? Pretty much. Shikamaru says. Kiba sulks as the rest laugh. Akamaru barks a reassuring bark. Thanks, Akamaru. Yeah, well, one group will have me and Taiyu-chan since I told Gigi not to separate us, another will have Sasuke and another will have Hinata, or maybe one group will have both. Who knows? Naruto says. The others nod. Although, Hinata really wants you, Naruto. Kiba says. Naruto chuckles nervously. Yeah, I know, and I don't know why. He says, rubbing the back of his head. She is not getting my boyfriend. He is mine, damn it. Tayuya declares, making the others sweat drop. We know. They say. They all laugh and eat as they talk through the afternoon and into the night. After finishing up, the new genin walk out. Tayuya and Naruto head to their home when they see Ninja moving around. That's odd. I wonder what is going on. Naruto says as they spot Iruka. Hey Iruka-sensei, what is going on? He turns to see Naruto and Tayuya. Oh, hey guys. Listen, I can't talk. What happened? Tayuya asks. Iruka sighs. It seems like someone stole the scroll of sealing. The 2 teens gasp. You know who? Naruto asks. Not sure, but we are looking. Iruka says. We can help. Tayuya says. Naruto goes and creates 1,000 clones. Guys, spread out and find the culprit. Check the forest. He orders. The clones nod and scatter. That would be the best spot, sensei. Let's check the forest. Naruto says. Iruka nods, after breaking from his stupor from seeing all the clones, and runs with them to the forest. Somewhere near a shack in the forest. Mizuki stops near the shack as he pants. He grabs the scroll on his back and looks at it. Finally, I have it. Orochimaru-sama will be pleased. So, you are a traitor, Mizuki. Mizuki gasps and looks around, getting up and taking a defensive stance. Iruka, that you? Maybe. Not funny Iruka, now come out. Mizuki demands as he keeps looking around. Suddenly Iruka, Naruto, and Tayuya drop from the trees. Hand over the scroll, Mizuki. Iruka says. Mizuki smirks. Right, like I will hand over the scroll. And look, you brought Naruto. I was gonna use him for this, but you had to ruin my plans. Naruto chuckles. Guess you underestimated me, huh? Mizuki scowls then grins. No matter. I can take the scroll and kill you 3, making Naruto look like he did it. The 3 of them frown at that. And why would you do that, Mizuki? Iruka asks. Because of what he carries. Iruka grimaces. You better not tell him. Shut up. Naruto, you know why you are hated by the village. Mizuki asks. It's because I carry Kyuubi inside me. Naruto says plain as day. Exactly. You are wait, what? Mizuki rants then looks confused. Naruto and Tayuya snicker then laugh. Oh man, your face. It's priceless. Tayuya says. Oh wow, I wish we had a camera. So funny. Naruto says. Iruka slowly chuckles also. Mizuki fumes. Shut up. The three stop, but can't keep their smiles off their faces. I will kill you, damn it. He exclaims as he grabs one of the huge shuriken on his back and throws it at Naruto. Naruto acts quickly and takes out his guitar. He flips it to the electric side and plays a loud riff. The sound waves travel forward and stop the shuriken dead in the air and drops. The waves keep going and hit Mizuki, causing him to fall onto the ground. What the hell was that? Mizuki says, struggling as he bleeds from his mouth, nose, eyes, and ears. That was a disruption wave. It is nasty on the human body and can stop almost anything, depending on how much power I put into it. Naruto says. Mizuki struggles to get up as he uses the shack as leverage. Give up, damn it. You are too weak to fight. Tayuya says as she pulls out her flute just in case. Mizuki just chuckles as he pulls out a vial from his pocket, inside being a purple substance. He pops the cork and drinks the contents. What the hell is that? Naruto asks. Your demise. Mizuki stands up as his body starts to convulse. Vile, black chakra coming out of him. His skin becomes dark before growing black fur. His muscles grow huge as his shirt rips off and the pant legs do too. Luckily, the top of the pants and the underwear don't, though are straining. His hands change to humanoid paws with 1-inch claws. So do his feet, but more animalistic. His nose and mouth grow forward into the shape of a snout. His teeth grow longer as his human ears drop from his head and 2 bare ears grow on top of it, not cute ones either. His eyes change as his sclera become black with red lines and his iris is blue while the pupil becomes a slanted line going vertical like a snake's eye. He stands up as he now stands 2 feet taller than before. From the top of his head to the tailbone, a blue lightning-shaped line appears on his back. Another appears on his chest going over his face and a smaller one over his right eye with it slanted. His eyes and claws glow, sparking with electricity. Yes, I am more powerful. With this, I will kill you. Mizuki says in a low powerful voice. He looks like a humanoid black bear. Iruka trembles as the kids look impassive. Yeah, I have seen Kyuubi and she is way scarier than you. Tayuya and Ba-chan are too when you really piss them off, so not really impressive. Naruto says, scratching his cheek. Mizuki twitches and grows angry. Also, Naruto plays another riff that goes twice as fast and hits Mizuki hard. Mizuki drops down to his knees as blood comes out from the previous spots. Because of your animal traits and senses, your hearing is a lot more precise than before, so loud sounds are gonna for you. He says with a slight smirk. Mizuki struggles to stand, fighting off the pain. I will not lose here. I will kill Tayuya-chan, finish him off, but don't kill him. Naruto says as Tayuya plays a melody, causing a genjutsu to hit Mizuki. He stands no chance as he drops to the ground, unconscious. What did you do? Iruka asks, interested. Demonic illusion. Hell nightmare. Showed him some images that would be best not to describe. Tayuya says. He nods slowly as the shinobi who were in alert arrive to the spot, feeling the vile chakra. What happened here? Kakashi asks. Hey, Kakashi-san. Turns out Mizuki stole the scroll then turned into that. Naruto points to the fallen human bear. The shinobi there, gasp. That's Mizuki. Kurenai asks incredulously. Yeah, he drank a vial of something. Also, before we showed ourselves, he mentioned Orochimaru the pedophile. Tayuya says. The shinobi scowl before snickering at what Tayuya called him. Although, you would think he would have died after Tsunade punched him to Kingdom Come when we saw him that time. Tayuya wonders. Naruto shrugs. Okay, well, I guess Mizuki needs medical care before seeing the inside of the T&I department. Naruto says. Ibiki comes down as do some shinobi. I will take care of that. He says. Okay, Ibiki-san. Just put some suppression seals on him. Oh, and when he wakes up, use sounds since his hearing became enhanced. Also, his nose too. Naruto says. Have fun with the torture. Say hi to Anko-san for us. Tayuya says. Ibiki smirks and nods as he and the shinobi with him take Mizuki. The others scatter as Naruto walks to the shack and picks up the scroll. My aim is good. The scroll is okay. Naruto says as he walks back. Okay, let's go tell the Hokage the news. Iruka says as the three head to the Hokage mansion. They meet up with the Hokage and tell them everything. The Hokage thanks them and tells them he would pay all three for stopping Mizuki, but is troubled by the circumstance. He dismisses them as the three of them walk away, then head to their homes. Next morning, Naruto and Tayuya wake up like always and do their routine. Shower, get clothed, prepare breakfast and lunch, then head to the academy. They run across the rooftops, then land at the entrance to the academy. They walk in, then head to their class. They open the door and head inside. They see their friends, rivals, and other students. Naruto and Tayuya greet them and glare at Sasuke and Hinata, who are glaring at them. They sit at their spots as they start speaking to their friends. Couple minutes later, Iruka walks in. Morning, everyone, he greets. Morning, Iruka-sensei. The class says. Well, today you guys will learn what teams you are on, although since we have an extra student, one team will have 4 genin. Students start to talk with one another as Naruto and Tayuya know it is gonna be themselves. Okay, Team 1 through 6 unimportant. Team 7 will be Naruto Uzumaki, Tayuya Tsuchi, Sakura Haruno, and Sasuke Uchiha. The two former hang their heads until Naruto looks at Iruka. Hey, wait, Iruka-sensei, why are we and Sasuke together? Who changed the rules? Naruto asks, interrupting Iruka. Ask the Hokage. He and Kakashi wanted it. By the way, Kakashi Hatake is your Jonin. What? Both Naruto and Tayuya yell. We have the lazy scarecrow. Tayuya asks with a whine. Iruka looks at them. Sorry, but yes. Now, stop interrupting. The two of them hang their heads. This ing-s. They say with a whine and anime tears. Sasuke and Sakura look at them with confusion, but leave the question for later. Anyway, Team 8 will be Kiba Inuzuka, Akamaru, Shino Aburame, and Hinata Hyuga. Your Jonin sensei is Kurenai Yuhi. Kiba pales as Hinata scowls. Shino shifts his glasses, but inside, his bugs are swarming at hearing Hinata's name. Team 9 is still in circulation. Team 10 will be Ino Yamanaka, Shikamaru Nara, and Choji Akamaiki. Ino nods since she is already friends with them. Choji eats his chips, not minding that, and Shikamaru sighs. Troublesome, he mutters. Okay, you guys can go chat for an hour until your sensei is here. Iruka says. You mean 3 for us since Kakashi is late for everything? Naruto exclaims. Iruka chuckles while the rest of the class, except the ones who already know, sweat drop. You're kidding, right? Sasuke asks, slightly annoyed. Naruto hangs his head and shakes it. Sasuke. Hns, as he looks out the window. Sakura looks at Sasuke. You think it's true? She asks. I hope not. He grunts. 1 hour later. The kids sit in their classroom after hanging out for an hour. They sit with their new teams as Team 7 and 8 are quiet. They all see 8 Jonin come in. There are 2 missing. Kiba says. Remember, Team 9 is still in circulation. Also, Kakashi isn't there. Naruto says, making Kiba nod slowly. Each one of the Jonins call for their new teams. Kurenai walks up. Team 8, come with me. Kiba, Shino, and Hinata stand up and walk to her. Kurenai-san. Naruto asks. Kurenai looks at him. Do you know where Kakashi is? Kurenai chuckles. Sorry, but you know how he is. Naruto bangs his head on the desk. Kurenai chuckles more as she and her team walk out of the class. Asuma speaks up. Team 10, with me. And no, Naruto, I don't know where Scarecrow is. Naruto was about to speak, but stays quiet. Asuma and Team 10 walk out. Team 7 sighs. I will wait 1 hour. If he doesn't appear, bad things will happen to him and Ika Ika. Naruto says in irritation. Tayuya agrees, as do Sasuke and Sakura. Kakashi, who is at the memorial stone, shivers after Naruto's presumption. Oh, it might be best if I go. Something bad might happen. Then again, I can handle it. Kakashi says as he stands there. 1 more hour later. It is quiet in the classroom. Naruto and Tayuya are on one of the long desks as Sasuke stares outside the window and Sakura sits next to him with her head on her hands and her elbows on the table. This is ridiculous. Naruto, I believe you now. I can't believe this guy is that late. Sakura says. Naruto sits up. Yep. And now, it's payback time. Tayuya sits up. Prank? She asks. Yep. What kind? You know the jutsu I had to make in order to get Ero Sennin to cooperate. Naruto asks while looking at her. The Y jutsu. Yep. But I was thinking of the harem one. Tayuya chuckles. Okay, but what else? She asks. Paint and pies. And while that is happening, you take his book. Cool. The two of them grin, as does Sakura and Sasuke. The four of them get together and put the plan together, then they set up the traps. It takes the best of half an hour, but everything is put together. The group sits together and waits for almost another hour until the door opens and they see their sensei. He takes one step inside as two erasers come down together. He coughs as wires and pulleys are heard. Before he can do anything, water is poured on him, then pink paint. Kakashi groans, and, before he can wipe the paint, a lot of pies come flying out of seals and hit him. The teens laugh as they see a completely covered Kakashi in banana cream pie. Before he can say anything, another poof of smoke appears, then Kakashi gets bombarded by a lot of Narukos. He can't take it and shoots blood from his nose, hitting a wall, and passes out. The four are on the floor and desks, laughing theirs off. Even Sasuke, who no one knew has a funny bone. Ooh man, prank success, Naruto says as they all wipe an imaginary tear. The Narukos poof out, holding up victory signs. The four of them gather around Kakashi's knocked out body as Naruto makes more clones to clean up the place. So, what should we do? Sasuke asks. Well, we could tie him up at the hot springs, but we need him right now, so, let's take him to the roof. Naruto says. The others nod and tie him up before shushing away to the roof. Kakashi wakes up groaning. That was a weird dream. I saw a lot of chicks and was covered in paint and pies. He opens his eyes as he hears giggling. He looks around and sees four teens holding up a book. Well, one is passed out on the ground. Man, can't believe people read this still. Kakashi hears a male voice since his vision is a bit blurry, but can still make things out. This is still so bad. I can write better stuff and actually make it readable. Yeah, me too, Taiyu-chan. I thought he would improve by now. This is so perverted, at least we know Sasuke-kun is straight. Kakashi shakes his head, then realizes he is tied up. His vision clears and sees Naruto, Tayuya, and Sakura reading his book while Sasuke is on the floor, passed out. Hey, what the hell you three doing? They look at Kakashi. Hey, you are awake. And we are just reading your book. Don't worry, your page is marked, but this stuff is badly written. Naruto says. Very badly written. Tayuya says. Kakashi looks at them incredulously. Can you three untie me, and why is Sasuke on the floor? He asks. He passed out after reading some pages. Sakura says, her blush still very apparent. And we will untie you if, Naruto starts. If what? Kakashi asks slowly. You come early from now on. If not, your book gets burned and we tell people what is really under the mask. Tayuya finishes. The three of them giggle evilly as Kakashi has a wide eye. You wouldn't and didn't, he says with fear in his voice. Would and did. So, gonna promise? Sakura asks. Kakashi is speechless and hangs his head. Fine. I will come early, he says in surrender. Okay. Naruto goes and unties him, then gives him his book. Sakura wakes up Sasuke, who gets up and shakes his head. What happened? He asks groggily. You read some pages from the book and passed out with blood coming out of your nose. Sakura says, giggling, having a small blush now. Sasuke blushes remembering then regains his composure. I have no idea what you are talking about. He says stoically. Oh, calm down, Sasuke. No one else will know. Right, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto asks as Kakashi nods. Yeah, whatever. Now, let's start with introductions. Kakashi says. You start since we know nothing of you. Naruto says, pointing at him. Okay. My name is Kakashi Hatake. My likes and dislikes you don't need to know. My hobbies, my goals only I need to know. Everyone's sweat drops. All we got is your name. They think. Okay. Well, my name is Naruto Uzumaki. That is all you will know. He says chuckling, making Kakashi sweat drop. Yeah, I will not tell you everything, you four. He says, pointing at them. Fine. My likes are Tayuya-chan, ramen, and training. My dislikes are anyone who mistreats Tayuya, lazy people, perverts, and people who don't take things seriously. Oh, and my godfather's books after finding out he wrote one about me and Tayuya-chan. My goals are to marry Tayuya-chan, have a family, and surpass my father. Sasuke and Sakura look at him as Kakashi smiles. Good, but you forgot to add to avoid Hinata when you can. Naruto faults at that. Don't remind me, damn it. He recovers then yells. The rest of them chuckle at that. Okay, your turn, Tayuya. Kakashi says. Okay, well my name is Tayuya Tsuchi. My likes are Naruto-kun, ramen, training, and music. My dislikes are anyone that tries to get my Naruto-kun, perverts, lazy senseis, Ika, since I can write better, and Jiraiya-sama since he is the biggest pervert in the world. I respect him, but I hate him at the same time. My goals are to marry my baby and to find my sister, she says the last part softly. Oh, and to keep Hinata away from Naruto. Naruto sweat drops at that. You already do that, I know. Kakashi nods. Sasuke. My name is Sasuke Uchiha. My dislikes are plenty and my likes are few. My ambition is to kill a certain man and to rebuild my clan. Everyone's sweat drops. Damn it. We should have said something like that. Crap. Naruto crosses his arms as Sasuke smirks. Kakashi shakes his head. Okay, and last, Sakura. Okay, well, my name is Sakura Haruno. My likes are, she looks at Sasuke, learning the medical arts, and wanting to get stronger. My dislikes are perverts and Naruto. Hey, he complains. Shut it. And my goal is, she looks at Sasuke, and be the best medic nin. Kakashi nods. So, two crazy lovers, an Avenger and an odd fangirl. Okay, tomorrow appear at training field 3 at 8. And don't eat breakfast or you will puke. You better be there at 8. Naruto says threateningly. Kakashi waves it off as he shushens out. So, now what? Sakura asks. Well, I want to plan some pranks for him and maybe change his alarm, so he wakes up early. And maybe some training. Naruto says. Yeah, me too. Maybe play some music too and practice more. Tayuya says. What about you, Sasuke? Naruto asks. Sasuke just grunts. Okay, well, you better eat breakfast tomorrow, unless you want to pass out from hunger. Kakashi just said that to mess with us. Sasuke slowly nods then disappears. What about you, Sakura? Tayuya asks. I was gonna ask Sasuke-kun to train, but I guess he doesn't want to, so I don't know. Practice I guess and train a bit. Naruto and Tayuya nod at that. Okay, then, see you tomorrow. Tayuya says. Yeah, I guess. Later guys. Sakura says as she shushens out. Let's go, babe. Naruto and Tayuya shushin away. Kakashi, who sits in a tree, sighs. I thought they would try to work out together or something. At least, the two love birds will. This might be harder than I thought. What you doing? Kakashi screams like a girl before recomposing himself. Nothing. Why are you four here? He asks. Naruto and Tayuya giggle while Sakura smiles and Sasuke broods, but has a small smirk. You screamed like a girl. Oh, that is another thing to keep. And we are here since we sensed you nearby. Naruto says, making Kakashi sweat drop. I didn't scream like a girl. Yes, you did. The four say, making Kakashi sulk. Did you forget about the new classes that came around a year ago? Tayuya asks. Yeah, I remember. Things changed in the academy. Kakashi says. For the better. Before, it was boring. Not anymore. Sakura says. You have those two to thank. Sasuke adds, pointing to Naruto and Tayuya. Yeah, I know. Okay, I will see you four tomorrow. Kakashi says before disappearing. It's a good thing I put a tracking seal on him. Now, he can't escape. Naruto says with glee as the four of them chuckle. Yeah, well, I will go. Sasuke says before leaving. Yeah, me too. Later, again, Sakura says as she leaves. The couple looks at each other before leaving. Over 7,000 words. I will cut it short and continue on to the next chapter. I don't want this to get too long and the next chapter be shorter. Lots of D-rank missions because Genins hate them and it is fun to watch them suffer. Just not a lot though. Wave arc is coming with some twists. Wonder if anyone can guess who Tayuya's twin is. Oh, and I wanted to add the scene where Naruto meets Konohamaru, but it was gonna be the same as canon. But he and the squad will appear on the next chapter. And now, plenty of omake. Omake number 1, Kawarimi. Alright Naruto, first is Henge. Iruka says. Naruto chuckles and makes a sign. And it better not be that damn Waijutsu, Iruka says sternly. Naruto pouts then shouts, Henge. Smoke surrounds him, and he turns into a perfect replica of Iruka. Very good, Naruto. Next up is Kawarimi. Naruto thinks about it until one of his many clones around the village pops and tells him that his godfather is doing his research. Naruto snickers with a huge grin and does the sign, then smoke surrounds him. The smoke clears, and everyone sees Jiraiya on a toad holding up a notepad. Huh, what the? He looks around and sees he is in a classroom. Why am I here? He asks confused. Naruto Kawarimi'd with you. Mizuki says with a sigh. Before Jiraiya can do anything, smoke appears again. It clears, revealing a laughing Naruto. What's so funny? Iruka asks. Naruto snickers. 2 minutes prior. Jiraiya is hiding in a bush, scribbling and softly giggling as he peeps into the hot springs. Oh, this is gold. He keeps snickering. The toad under him sighs mentally, wondering how he got into this mess. Suddenly, the toad and Jiraiya are covered in smoke, Jiraiya not noticing yet. The smoke clears, revealing Naruto snickering. Okay, I only have a minute before he realizes. Naruto jumps over the fence, scaring some of the women there. They get mad, but don't do anything when they see him snicker and has a finger on his lips. He thinks for a bit. Sorry girls, but the pervert is watching you and I think you might want revenge. The women nod, knowing who he is talking about. Naruto does the sign again and smoke appears. When it clears, the women see Jiraiya on the toad. Frickin' brat. Trying to ruin my research. He looks forward and sees that he is back at the springs and writes again, being oblivious still. The toad has wide eyes, seeing that they are inside the women's spring. Fearing for his life, he puffs out, making Jiraiya fall. Hey, why leave? He yells. However, before he can do anything, he sees that he is surrounded by pissed off, wet, and towel-covered women, civilian and ninja alike, with evil looks on their faces and a dark glint in their eyes. One thought goes through his mind, well too. Mommy. And, good prank, bastard. Back at the class, Naruto runs to a window and opens it, then yells. Beat him good, girls. That's when everyone in the village hears screams of pain mixed in with girly shrieks and women and girls screaming and yelling. Naruto and all of the class fall on the floor laughing. Iruka and Mizuki chuckle before they burst out laughing too. Naruto gets up and wipes his tears. Ah, it's good to be the prank king. He says with a grin. Omake number 2. Mizuki's transformation blooper 1. Your demise. Mizuki drinks the contents of the vial. His body convulses as vile black chakra goes around him, then changes color to a light blue. His skin turns black before blue fur comes out. Then he starts to shrink. He gets smaller and smaller until his clothes fall off. Iruka, Naruto, and Tayuya look at what is happening. Where Mizuki stood, all that is left is a pile of clothes. The clothes rummage about until a blue Care Bear walks out. Hi everyone. The bear speaks. Everyone there is dumbstruck. The bear looks at them with a smile when more shinobi appear at the clearing. Iruka, we felt vile chakra here. What happened? Kakashi asks. However, Iruka just stands there, wondering what the hell happened to Mizuki. Everyone turns to where the three are looking at and see the blue bear. Iruka, what is that? Kakashi asks, confused. I think that is, or was, Mizuki. He says slowly. Everyone there looks at him oddly, then the bear. The bear giggles, then yawns. I am bedtime bear and I am sleepy. I think you all should sleep also. The bear says as he falls asleep. Somehow, everyone there gets affected and falls asleep also. The Hokage, who is watching, sweat drops from seeing that. What the, is all he says. Omake number 3. Mizuki's transformation blooper number 2. Mizuki's body convulses as black chakra goes around him, then shrinks down. His clothes go down with him. All that is left is a pile of clothes until the clothes move. The three of them tense until, what the? Why am I under a whole bunch clothes? The three of them tilt their heads as a teddy bear walks out. The three of them gasp. Holy, it's Ted. Tayuya says. Yeah, my name is Ted. Who the are you? More importantly, are you single? Ted says as he walks to them. Tayuya chuckles as Naruto scowls. Hey, she is mine, damn it. You better not put your grubby paws on her. Ah, shut up. You guys know where I can get drunk and high and party? Ted asks. The three of them look at each other, then Ted. Before they can say anything, Konoha shinobi appear. Hey Iruka, we sensed foul chakra here, Kakashi starts. Hey, it's Ted. Ibiki says in surprise while pointing at Ted, making everyone look at the bear. Holy shit, it is. Kakashi says in surprise too. What the? How much did I drink? I swear you guys came out of nowhere. Ted says. Why are you here? Actually, how is the better question? Kakashi asks. Somehow that was Mizuki. Naruto says. The shinobi gasp. Who the is Mizuki and where can I go to party? I'm bored here. Ted says. Anko comes down. I can take you to one. The rest of the ninjas just look at her. Alright, and I have a looker here. Yeah. Ted says as he runs to Anko and jumps on her. Hey, hands off the goods. She tells him. Come on babe. You and me can have some fun. Ted says as they walk away, Anko arguing with him. Everyone just watches them walk away, wondering, what just happened here? By the way, I came up with a good crazy challenge, basically a Naruto Ted crossover. With Gaara wishing upon a star for his teddy bear to be real and said teddy bear becomes Ted. If anyone wants to do it, do it. Just say I came up with it. Hope it's crazy. It might work with anyone that has a teddy bear in any manga, anime though. Oh wait, I forgot one more omake though. I wanted a third blooper but had no idea what. Omake. Tayuya's plan and Hinata's want. It was the second week of the academy as the students were leaving. Naruto and Tayuya left together, however, before she did, she had something in mind. On the roof, Hinata was behind the bush on the roof that no one had any idea why it was there. She was spying on her new obsession, Naruto. What she didn't know was that it was Tayuya in disguise. Please take the bait, Tayuya thought. Naruto had his legs dangling over the edge as he looked at the sky. Hinata, thinking this might be her only chance, walked from the bush and walked to Naruto. Hi, Naruto, she said. Naruto looked at her. Oh, hey Hinata, what is wrong? She asked. Nothing. Just sitting here, thinking. Where is Tayuya? Hinata spat out her name. Naruto frowned. None of your business, so what do you want? I can't talk with you. She asked innocently. Not when you act like a bitch and try to push Tayuya away. So, what you want? He asked, crossing his arms. Hinata scowled then smirked as she sat next to him. Well, I just want to say that I want you to dump that whore and come and be with a real girl. She said in a sultry tone. Tayuya is not a whore, Hinata. You better not talk about her that way. Tayuya was trying not to break the hinge but was difficult. Hinata shook her head. Whatever. I just want to do one thing. Hinata pounced and landed on Naruto, as he was pushed onto the floor. He tried to get up, but was kissed instead. His eyes went wide as Hinata kissed him more before she sat up on him. How was that? Naruto smirked. Bad, but Naruto poofed and what was laying there was Tayuya. Don't ever do that again, you bitch. Hinata gasped then scowled. I kissed you. Hey, it's not great for me. Oh, and bye. Tayuya poofed out, showing she was a clone. Hinata seethed as she walked to the door of the roof. However, if one looked closely, they could see a small tint of blush. Tayuya, with Naruto at Ichiraku's, got the memories and grimaced a bit. Then blushed a small tint. Did I like that? They thought at the same time then shuddered. Hell no, I only want Naruto kissing me. They thought also. Well, after the new genin go their way, Kakashi heads to the Hokage Tower. He walks into the office since it is mandatory after getting a team. Hokage-sama. Kakashi salutes. Kakashi. Sarutobi says, trying not to laugh. With the training Hiruzen got from the couple, he looks a bit younger. His age spots and gray hairs are still there, but his skin is a bit more refined and his muscles are back to when he was younger. Kakashi looks around and sees the other Jonin sensei, except Guy. However, he sees them snicker. What is so funny? He asks. Why are you covered in paint and smell like you've been at the kennel? Asuma asks, snickering. Kakashi becomes confused until Kurenai walks up and shows his face on her compact mirror. He gasps at seeing himself covered in pink paint. His hair is sagging since he remembers it got wet. And the water smells bad. His clothes are also covered. Luckily for him, the kids put his mask back on. But one thought goes through his head. What did I get myself into? Kakashi looks at everyone and sulks. Maybe it wasn't a good idea to have Naruto as one of your genin, huh? Sarutobi asks. Kakashi slowly nods. Yeah, I guess he still has a small grudge. He says as he rubs the back his neck. You sure it's not because you came very late? Asuma asks with a snicker. Kakashi narrows his eyes at him. Not funny, Asuma. But I will try to come on time, well for them anyway. I don't want to get hit by Naruto's pranks again. He says with anime tears. Everyone chuckles. Alright, now, you all have your new teams. Everyone knows what to do tomorrow. You will report at 1 after you administer the test. Good luck, everyone, and I hope we have some permanent teams this year. Sarutobi says. The Jonin nod. Yes, Hokage-sama. Dismissed. Everyone shushens out as Sarutobi sighs, smoking his pipe. Well, I hope Kakashi's team passes. Sasuke needs a kick in the since the damn council pampers the hell out of him. I know he is the last Uchiha, but damn, he isn't Kami. Sarutobi looks at the paperwork and scowls, then makes some Kage Bushin. He takes out his Ika and reads then giggles. Naruto and Tayuya are walking in the village, thinking. What do you think we might do tomorrow? Naruto asks. Not sure. It could be anything. You think it might have to deal with being like a team? Tayuya asks. Probably. If it a test of sorts, it could be to see how well we can work. Maybe it is that, testing our teamwork. Tayuya thinks. Naruto hangs his head at hearing that. Then we are screwed since we have the emo king and his main follower. Tayuya hangs her head also. They keep walking, heading to Ichiraku's since they haven't eaten because of their late sensei. Hey guys. The two look up to see Team 8 without Kurenai or Hinata. Hey Kiba. Hey Akamaru. Hey Shino. The two greet. Hello Naruto-san, Tayuya-san. Shino says. So, what are you guys walking around for? Kiba asks. We are just heading to get some food after meeting up with our sensei. Tayuya asks. We got him good too since he was late. Naruto says as the two of them giggle while Kiba and Shino chuckle at hearing that. What you guys do? Kiba asks. Covered him in pink paint and bathwater from your sister's vet. Then hit him with a harem jutsu. Naruto says. Harem jutsu? Shino asks. Yeah, I can henge to a girl then make multiple clones. Don't really like doing it often, but I used it to get Jiraiya to pay attention to us. The two of them nod before chuckling. Wow, to think a Jonin can fall for that. Kiba says. Akamaru barks, wondering too. You guys want to come with us? Naruto asks. Kiba and Shino look at each other and shrug. Yeah, sure, delighted to. They say. The four preteens and one dog walk to Ichiraku's. So, what did your sensei say for tomorrow? Tayuya asks. That we will meet up together for something. She didn't say much. Kiba says. Me and Tayuya might think that our sensei are gonna test us on our teamwork. Not sure. Naruto says. Kiba and Shino sulk while Akamaru whines. If that is true, then we are in trouble. Shino says. Yeah, you have the ice bitch, huh? Tayuya says. The four of them chuckle at that. Well, at least she went home, thank Kami, but if what you say is true, then how can we pass? Kiba asks. We have the same problem also since we have Emo King and his main follower. Naruto says. Then we are all in trouble. Shino says. The four of them chuckle as they walk into the small stand. Nei-chan, you in? Naruto asks as Ayame walks out. Hey Naruto. Hi guys. Hey. They greet as they sit on the stools. What can I get you guys? Anything. We need our minds off things. Naruto says. Ayame looks at them confused. Why say that? We got new teams and we don't like our teammates. Kiba says. Who are they? Ayame asks. Well, me and Naruto have Sasuke and Sakura as a team and Kiba and Shino have Hinata as another. Tayuya says. Oh, as all Ayame says while the four hang their heads. Pretty much. They say together. Ayame giggles. Well, I guess you guys want your usuals. They nod as she goes to the back. You think Shikamaru's team might pass? Naruto asks. Well, you have lazy, chubby, and preppy. Not sure, Kiba says. Well, their fathers did work together as the previous Ino Shikacho. Shino says. True, so if they are like their fathers, then I guess they can work. Naruto says. Lucky bastards. Tayuya, Naruto, and Kiba say together slowly with their eyes narrowed. Well, all we can do is train. Not much else. Tayuya says as the guys agree. Well, we can plan. The only problem is our teammates. Since you guys have Kurenai-san, you guys have to mainly worry about Genjutsu since that is her specialty. Maybe try to confuse her somehow. Naruto says. Kiba and Shino nod. And even though we have the Scarecrow, he can fight seriously. Just depends on whatever we do tomorrow. Tayuya says. Guess so. Just have to see what we have to do. Kiba says. Ayame and Tuki walk out with their orders as they start to eat. So, Nei-chan, how was your day? Naruto asks. It was okay, Naruto-kun. Just slow, I guess. Ayame says. Well at least we are here. Tayuya brings up. They all laugh as they eat. Hey, when are you guys gonna have another sleepover? Ayame asks. Naruto and Tayuya think. Not sure. Depends on what the month brings up since we are now in teams. I guess that is one thing that the academy was good for other than the new classes. Oh well, Naruto says. Everyone nods as they talk to each other. After about an hour later, the genin leave with them going home. There is still daylight out as Naruto and Tayuya head home. They walk until they feel they are being followed. They glance at each other and pick up the pace until they turn a corner. Hinata, who is following, turns said corner slowly and sees that they are gone. What the? Damn it, I should have used my Byakugan. She says with a scowl. And why should you? Hinata jumps before changing her composure and turning around. She smirks, seeing Naruto and Tayuya there. So, guess you found me. Why are you stalking my Naru-kun? Tayuya asks, trying not to explode. Why not? You don't deserve him, she says smugly. And you do. Please bitch, only I do since I care for him and actually care for him and not be fake, unlike you, little miss pampered bitch. Tayuya says, shaking. Hinata frowns. Please, all you are is obsessive. What is wrong with that? I am obsessive over her. Naruto says. Besides, you are obsessive too. At least I know everything about him. What do you know? Tayuya practically yells. Hinata scowls as she tries to think of something. Damn it. Fine, you win. But, I will get Naruto-kun to be with me, she says before walking away. Tayuya tries strangling her as Naruto holds her back. Hey, don't you walk away from me, you little bitch. Get your over here, Tayuya yells. Tayuya, Naruto says sternly. Tayuya stops and faces him. He kisses her gently. Calm down, babe. You know I am only yours. I only want you to be obsessive and possessive over me. Okay, he says. Tayuya nods, giggling, and kisses him back. Okay, Koi, let's go home. Naruto nods as they walk away, Hinata looking back and scowling as she walks to her compound. Next day, Tayuya wakes up as the sunlight tries to come into the room through the curtains. She checks the clock on the stand, reading 6:30 a.m., then looks at Naruto. She smiles from seeing him sleeping and hold onto her. She goes and kisses his lips. Wakey, wakey, baby. Naruto groans. No, I want to sleep with my Tayuya, he mumbles. Tayuya giggles then hits him. Wake up. Naruto groans and looks at her. Why you hit me, woman? She giggles. 'Cause I can. Now come on. No. Naruto groans and holds her down. Get up, Naruto, or we will be late since we did reset Kakashi's clock. Naruto sits up and looks at her with sleepy, but annoyed eyes. Maybe I shouldn't have so we could sleep more, but fine. Let's shower together then go get dressed. Naruto says as he gets off the bed. Tayuya follows and spanks him. Ow. Hey. Naruto exclaims. Tayuya giggles and runs into the bathroom. Naruto runs after her. 20 minutes later, both of them step out. They didn't do anything, except maybe play around and touch. Nothing more. They get dressed and ready as they walk downstairs. They make breakfast and lunch, and just in case Sasuke and Sakura didn't listen and Kakashi does come late anyway, they make some small bento boxes for them. After eating breakfast, they head out to the meeting point. Naruto and Tayuya meet up at Field 3 by the 3 logs stuck to the ground. There, they find Sasuke. Morning. Sasuke grunts, making the two sweat drop a bit. Didn't sleep well or didn't eat? Naruto asks. Sasuke doesn't answer. His stomach does though. The latter then. Tayuya says. They hear someone running and see Sakura. Hey guys. Hey Sakura. The couple says together. Before Sakura can say anything, her stomach rumbles. You too. I told you to eat, didn't I? Naruto says. Sasuke and Sakura look away. Tayuya sighs and gives them the bento boxes. Here, eat, you too. Whatever Kakashi has planned, it would be better to have a full stomach than an empty one. She says. Sakura looks down at that and takes one as Sasuke grunts, but takes one also. They both eat as their eyes light up, but don't say anything. An hour passes as the four of them sit near the logs. I don't think he is coming out. Naruto says. They know he is watching them since they felt him come half an hour ago. Sasuke sighs and looks at the tree. Kakashi-sensei, we know you are there. Kakashi appears in front of them via Shushin. You guys called me up? He asks with an eye smile. They sweat drop then grow tick marks. Don't act stupid. They yell, making Kakashi back up. Hey, sorry. A black cat crossed my path and, don't finish that Kakashi-san. We know you like being late. You didn't forget about us knowing about your face, did you? Tayuya asks sweetly. Kakashi slumps. Why are we here anyway? Sasuke asks. Right. You guys are here for a test. Huh. 3 people say as one just looks at him. A test? Sakura asks. Yes. Kakashi takes out 2 bells. You guys have to get these 2 bells from me or you guys fail. Also, the ones who do get one, pass. He says with an eye smile. The 4 of them look at him incredulously. What? That makes no sense. Naruto exclaims. Sorry. My test, my rules. The 4 genin look at each other and think. This makes no sense. No team of 2 genin exists, never in recorded shinobi history. So, why do this test? Naruto and Tayuya think. I need one of those bells. Sasuke and Sakura think. Okay, you guys have 1 hour. Kakashi takes out a clock and puts it on a stump. Really? You had a ing clock this whole time? Tayuya asks, yelling. Kakashi chuckles. Ready. The 4 stand up as Kakashi ties the 2 bells to his pants. Kakashi shushens to the middle of the field near a tree as the 4 genin look at him. Go. The genin jump away, however Naruto stays. Naruto, this is a test of being a ninja, you know. Naruto just smiles then dashes forward. Kakashi and Naruto go into a taijutsu battle, both trading blow for blow. You improved, Kakashi. Thanks, Naruto, but I am not done yet. Kakashi disappears as Naruto smirks. He turns and stops an attack then goes to get one in. Kakashi sees it and parries then hits Naruto in the chest. Naruto backs off and goes at it again, this time getting a hit on the side. Kakashi staggers. I forgot how strong he is. Can't let my guard down. Although, why do I sense 4 signatures in the forest? Kakashi thinks to himself as he and Naruto start doing hand signs. Only 4 hits left. Have to give time for the boss. Naruto thinks as they finish their signs. Fire release. Great fireball technique. Earth release. Dragon mud bullet. Kakashi unleashes a huge fireball as Naruto hits the ground. A huge earth dragon head appears and launches a huge mud bullet. The 2 jutsu collide and cause an explosion. They jump away as Naruto pants. Meanwhile in the forest, the 4 genin watch Kakashi and the Naruto clone fight. Sasuke gasps from seeing the fireball as he and Sakura see and feel the explosion. Naruto and Tayuya look at each other then the others. Hey guys, listen up. Naruto says as Sakura and Sasuke look at him. Look, I know we have a problem with each other, but we need to work together here. What? Why? Sakura asks. Because this test makes no sense. Not ever in history has there been a 3-man team, only 4 with a sensei and 3 genin. Tayuya says. We think this is a test to see how well we work together. It's the only reason to do this test. Naruto says. Sasuke and Sakura think about it. You sure? Sasuke asks. It's the only explanation. I think Kakashi wants us to work together. We have to try. Tayuya says. Sasuke and Sakura look at each other then them. Fine. They say. Good. Our best bet is for me and Sasuke to attack him as a distraction while Tayuya and Sakura do a genjutsu. We have to hurry. My clone won't last long. Naruto says as they discuss the plan while watching the fight. The clone and Kakashi are now using kunai as both of the weapons clash. The clone pants and Kakashi notices. Why is he tired? We barely fought. This makes no sense, unless, Kakashi looks at the clone as the clone still has a smirk on his face. Kakashi does more signs as the clone does too. Fire release. Great fireball technique. Earth release. Earth-style wall. Only 1 hit or jutsu left. The clone tells himself as the fireball hits the earth wall and explodes. However, the clone winches and looks to his left, seeing Kakashi. Hey, guess you caught on. The clone says before poofing out. Kakashi gasps. So, it was a clone? He asks, stupefied. Before he can react, a fist comes through the charred wall and connects with his face. Kakashi goes cartwheeling as he gets hit behind. Damn, double hit. Kakashi thinks before poofing out. Naruto and Sasuke look around before going to the tree and attack Kakashi, Who is hiding behind it? Naruto goes low while Sasuke goes high. Kakashi blocks Sasuke's attack and dodges Naruto's. However, they expected this as Sasuke grabs a hold of Kakashi's arm as Naruto grabs his leg, all three going down. Kakashi corkscrews out of it, sending Naruto and Sasuke in opposite directions. They land on their feet and attack again. Kakashi goes to counter, but sees them feign. Shit. He jumps out of the way as Tayuya and Sakura go in for the attack, both missing him. All four attack him from different angles as Kakashi is working overtime, dodging and parrying. Naruto and Tayuya look at Sasuke and Sakura and nod to them. They nod back and jump in the air. Kakashi becomes confused until Naruto and Tayuya hit the ground, hard enough to shake it, but only be like a small earthquake. Kakashi gasps as he loses his balance before he sees Sasuke and Sakura finish a jutsu. He gasps again from seeing a lot of small fireballs and 4 dozen shuriken heading his way. The fireballs and shuriken come together as they come down. Kakashi uses a kunai and starts parrying. Intel. Kai. Kakashi gasps as he sees he is tied up to the middle log in the field. He also sees his 4 genin standing there, Naruto and Tayuya holding the bells. We got you good, Kakashi-sensei. Naruto says with glee. Kakashi sighs then chuckles. Hey, you guys worked well. Although, it was a genjutsu. Yep, you got caught in it before the girls came and attacked you. However, you didn't dodge like you thought and got hit. We tied you up while you were fighting us. Naruto says. Kakashi nods. However, only 2 pass since you two have bells. Not really. Naruto and Tayuya split the bells with their hands and Naruto hands 1/2 to Sasuke while Tayuya hands 1/2 to Sakura. You didn't say it had to be a whole bell. Tayuya says. Kakashi I smiles and chuckles. Well then, you all pass. The genin cheer, well except Sasuke. He just nods with a smirk. But, you guys did figure out the real test. So, it was teamwork like Naruto said. Sasuke asks. Kakashi nods as Naruto unties him. Thanks. Kakashi stands up. Yes, this test is about teamwork. Sure, one's own strength is enough in some situations, but when you work as a team, the strength of everyone can overcome anything. Also, remember this. Those who disobey the rules are trash, those that abandon their comrades are worse than trash. In the shinobi life, teamwork is everything. It can even make an individual stronger that way. The 4 genin look at each other and nod then look at him. You guys made me proud. You are actually my first team that I passed. Congratulations. Kakashi says with an eye smile. The genin have wide eyes, but they smile. Well, have the day off, and tomorrow, meet me at the Hokage Tower entrance for your first D-rank missions at 9. The genin nod, but for some reason get a chill down their spines. Kakashi shushens out as the genin look at each other. So, what you guys want to do? Naruto asks. Train. Tayuya asks. Yeah, alright, the rest of them say. Sarutobi smiles from seeing the genin work together and pass the test and now seeing them train together through his all-seeing eye. Next day, Team 7 stands outside the entrance of the Hokage Tower as their sensei appears. Wow, on time, huh? We should have done the prank long ago. Naruto says, making the others snicker. Ha, ha, Naruto. Now, let's go in and do your first mission. Kakashi says as the genin nod and walk inside. They stand in front of the desk as Sarutobi looks for missions to do. He grabs a scroll and hands it to Kakashi. Okay, here is the first D-rank mission for you guys. Good luck. Sarutobi says. Hi, Hokage-sama, GG. The genins say. Team 7 walks away as Team 10 walks in. They greet each other as they walk by. Okay guys, our first mission. Kakashi says as the genin look at him. He unfurls it and reads it. Okay, we have to go paint Ms. Hashirama's fence. The 4 of them face fault then recover. What? That's the mission. That's more of a chore. Naruto exclaims, all 4 with angry faces. Kakashi chuckles nervously. Yeah well, Come on, let's go do it. The four genin grumble and follow Kakashi. 2 hours into it, the four of them have half the fence done. The place has a huge backyard and a fence to go with it. All four are tired, hungry, and irritated. Naruto and Tayuya can't use clones since Kakashi won't let them. Kakashi looks at them over his book. Good job, guys. How are my little genin doing? All four give him a pissed off, what do you think? Look, making him sweat drop. I hope all D ranks aren't like this. If so, the council will get it badly. Naruto says, grumbling, as the rest agree. We didn't do a teamwork test just to end up doing chores. Damn villagers. Tayuya says, grumbling also, not wanting to curse since there are little kids in the house, but she is close to boiling over. For the next 2 weeks, life is hell for the four. All they have done is chore after chore and all four have had it. Well, Kakashi did teach them a few things, like certain teamwork maneuvers and collaboration attacks. He learned they already did the tree and water walking exercises, along with leaf balancing back at the academy. The team had a small break during the first week and Naruto and Tayuya had some fun with a kid Naruto met before. Flashback. Naruto and Tayuya were walking to Ichiraku's for lunch since they just trained and didn't really have anything else to do. They walked until they sensed 3 small signatures behind them. They turned and saw a rock, which was square, with 2 eye holes on the front. The two of them sweat dropped. Konohamaru, is that you? Naruto asked. Ah, you caught us, boss. The box poofed then the two of them heard coughing. Too much smoke, Konohamaru. A girl said before the smoke cleared, revealing 3 kids. How did you see through my disguise, boss? Konohamaru asked. Because rocks aren't square. Naruto and Tayuya deadpanned together. Hey, who are you? Konohamaru asked, pointing at her. I am his girlfriend, Tayuya. She's pretty. The little girl said with a giggle. Tayuya blushed a bit. Who are you two? And you better not do a dance. I think Ero Sennin might have infected people with that. Naruto said. The 2 kids shrugged. I am Moegi, the Wyest Kunoichi here. The girl said. Hi, I'm Udon. The kid with glasses said, a snot bubble coming out and popping. The 2 genin shuddered. Well, Moegi and Udon, nice to meet you. They said. Hey, boss, play ninja with us. Konohamaru said. Don't you have a sensei that is supposed to be taking care of you? Naruto asked. You mean the closet pervert? We don't know where he is. He ditched us. Moegi said. Naruto and Tayuya looked at each other. Closet pervert? They asked. Yeah, our sensei is a closet pervert. Konohamaru said. And you don't know where he is? Tayuya asked. No, although, we did lose him. Udon said. Udon. The other 2 exclaimed. Guys, where you lose him at? Naruto asked. Near the hot springs. Moegi said. The 2 teens narrowed their eyes. Now we know why. Naruto said. Let's nab us a pervert. Tayuya said. The 5 headed out and headed to the hot springs. There, Tayuya and Moegi went inside while the guys made a trap of sorts. The 2 girls were under genjutsus, looking like they had towels on. They scanned the area until Tayuya's sweat dropped. Wow, that is not obvious, she said in sarcasm. Moegi looked at her until Tayuya pointed to a far wall. She looked that way and saw nothing. I don't see anything. You don't see the shoes. Moegi squinted her eyes and looked at the floor near the fence, then sweat dropped also. Oh. The 2 nodded and headed to the wall, then grabbed the fake cover and took it down. They pointed and screamed, pervert, as Ebisu ran out of the hot springs. Some of the women there screamed and hit him as he ran out of the entrance until he stepped on a noose and got hung upside down by one of his feet. What the? A trap? He wondered frantically. Yep. And time for you to learn a lesson. Naruto said as he and Konohamaru grinned. Ebisu sweated. 10 minutes later, Ebisu woke up. He groaned, wondering what happened, and looked around. He saw the ceiling of the locker room of the hot spring and his head was throbbing. What did they do to me? I will get my hands on them, and when I will, you will what? Ebisu froze and sat up, then looked around. He paled from seeing a lot of pissed off kunoichis, one being Anko Mitarashi, another being Sum Inazuka with her daughter Hana, and another being Kurenai. Ebisu knew he would be in a world of hurt. He didn't notice the sign on his chest saying, "I am a closet pervert and have been watching you. Please punish me." Courtesy of Naruto, Tayuya, Konohamaru, Moegi, and Udon. With chibi forms of all holding up victory signs. The girls would thank them later. The two genin and three kids were walking away from the springs with ice cream in hand until the whole village heard screams and shrills from someone. The five smirked as they headed to a training ground. There, they played ninja together, at the same time teaching the kids a couple of things. Flashback end. Right now, Team 7 is doing their 54th D rank involving Tora the Hellcat. They never had to encounter this cat before, but they would learn why this cat is nicknamed Hellcat. Leader, this is Blaze Fox. I have the subject in sight. Over. This is Blue Storm. I also have the subject in sight. Over. This is Pink Panther. I could not think of good name. I won't bash Sakura. Too much of it. I also have the subject in sight. Over. This is Stupid. This is Red-Headed Tsunade. I have the subject in sight also. Over. Can we finish this already? Damn it. This is Leader. Confirm. It has the stupid Ingbo. Let's go already before I lose it. Tayuya yells, making Kakashi sweat drop and the rest chuckle. Go. Four shadows pounce as Tora meows before getting caught. Naruto grabs it and holds the cat in his arms. The cat struggles and scratches him in the face before Tayuya plays a melody to soothe the beast. Tora slowly closes his eyes and falls asleep, gently purring as Naruto holds it. Naruto sighs as his face is covered in marks. Why Kakashi wouldn't let us do a genjutsu in the first place, I don't know. Naruto says in irritation as the four of them walk out of the forest. They meet up with their sensei, who has an eye smile. Good job. The four give him a death glare before walking to the tower. Kakashi scratches his head then shrugs, whipping out his book and reading it, giggling along the way. The four genin are sitting in front of the Hokage desk as they see poor Tora being squeezed by the fire daimyo's wife. The cat woke up after the genjutsu came off and isn't happy. Ma'am, if I may suggest, why not just hold Tora and pet him? Cats don't really like being squeezed, which is the reason he runs away a lot. Just cradle him in your arms and pet him. He will like that, Naruto says. She looks at him then tries it. Tora does a 180 and purrs in content in her arms. She smiles and thanks Naruto then pays the stance that deal with the money and walks away. Naruto sighs. I hope we don't see that cat again. Everyone chuckles at that. Okay, now, the next mission you can do is either babysitting twins, tilling land, fixing a fence, paint a house, no. The four genin yell together. Sarutobi looks at them. We are tired of doing the villagers' chores, GG. When are we gonna get a C rank? We already have done 54 Ds. And it states that a group has to do at least 25 Ds before doing 1C. Naruto says. Iruka stands up. Guys, we have a system here. Since you guys are genin, you can't do C rank yet. Actually, we can. We can do both D and C after we do the amount of Ds Naruto mentioned, Iruka-sensei. Tayuya says. And besides, Sasuke and Sakura won't learn anything by doing missions inside the village. And that reminds me, Naruto says as he looks at Kakashi. Why haven't we started a C rank yet when we have done 54 Ds? Kakashi lowers his book and looks at him. You say something. The four almost fall before they glare at him. Naruto grins then looks at the Hokage. Hey, does anyone want to see how Kakashi looks under the mask? People inside murmur as Kakashi gasps then moves fast and covers his mouth. They are ready for AC rank, Hokage-sama. Sarutobi raises an eyebrow as the rest look at Kakashi in confusion. They did see, huh? The four genin nod with grins. Alright. You guys will be escorting a bridge builder to his home. The four, after Kakashi lets go of Naruto, talk among each other. Bring him in. The door opens as a man walks in with a slight stumble, obviously a bit drunk with a sake bottle in hand. So, these are the ones who will escort me. Four brats. The one with red hair and blonde highlights looks like he won't do much. The four grow tick marks before Naruto recognizes the voice. He smiles. Hey, you can't talk to me that way, Tazuna. I thought we were friends. He says as he stands up. Tazuna gasps. Naruto. Yep. Still drinking in the daytime, huh? Tazuna chuckles as he sees the teens stand up. Tayuya. Hey Tazuna-san. She greets. So, you are the bridge builder. Huh, I always thought you wouldn't do it since you are lazy and a drunk. Well, at least one thing is gone. Naruto says. Tazuna chuckles at that. Naruto, how do you know this man? Kakashi asks. We met him when we went to the land of waves like what almost 3 years ago. Naruto thinks. Tayuya nods. Yep, it was before we went to Kiri and helped in the rebellion. Oh right. Hey, how are Inari, Tsunade, and Kaiza? Naruto asks. They all see Tazuna's face become gloomy as his eyes show pain. Tazuna, what happened? Naruto asks. Well, Tazuna starts. Tazuna, are Inari-chan, Tsunade, and Kaiza alright? Tayuya asks. Tazuna sighs and goes to sit on a chair. Might be best to tell you what happened after you guys left. He says. The group sits as Tazuna begins explaining. He tells them some months after the group of them left, a man named Gato came in and took over the place. He started off slow before taking over the whole village. And to show who was in charge, he killed Kaiza, the hero of the village after he tried to fight Gato. Since then, the whole village fell into disrepair and people lost hope. When Tazuna finished, there are mixed emotions in the room from everyone. The two noticeable are from Naruto and Tayuya. I won't forgive the Ing bastard. Tazuna, how is Inari doing? Naruto asks. He became shut in and won't really speak as much. Even he lost faith. Tazuna says, being sober now. Why didn't you contact us? Tayuya asks. It's not easy when Gato's goons are around the place. I barely got out to come here. Look, I am sorry I lied to you, but there is not much I could do. Even the daimyo of the village fell into Gato's hands. We barely had enough for AC rank, let alone AB or A. Sorry, Naruto. Tazuna apologizes sadly. Naruto, Kakashi, and Sarutobi sigh. Lying is a huge offense. It calls, Hokage-sama. Naruto says seriously. Sarutobi shuts his mouth since he only calls him that out of seriousness. Naruto looks at him and sighs. Look, I know Tazuna lied, but I heard from Jiraiya that Gato is an evil businessman. I wouldn't be surprised if he did take over Wave. He does have a lot of money, so I hear. Besides, I visited this village when I was with Tayuya, Tsunade, and Shizune traveling, and it wouldn't be right to leave them like this. I know it is beyond C rank, but I need and want to help. Me too. Besides, I want to see Inari-chan again. And this Gato person needs to go down. Me and Naruto can handle something like this since we already have over 5 years outside the village. And this would be experience for Sasuke and Sakura also. Besides, doesn't Konoha help others in need? Tayuya says. Sarutobi sighs as he looks at Kakashi. What do you think? Well, knowing these two, I don't think I have much of a choice, but it would be good for the other two. Kakashi says. Sarutobi nods. Alright, I will allow it. GG, if I may, I request either Tsunade Ba-chan and or Shizune-chan to come, along with 1 or 2 other medic nins. We don't know the conditions there, and, while the bridge is being built, the medic nins can check the people. Naruto says. It will be expensive, Naruto. Sarutobi says. I will use the money in my account. Please GG, let us help. Naruto pleads. Sarutobi nods, smiling at how mature Naruto has grown. Alright, I will let you guys go and try to get either of them to go along with two other medical nins since you, Tayuya, and Sakura are also doing the practice. Neko. Sarutobi barks out as Neko comes down and salutes. Hi, Hokage-sama. I need you to tell Tsunade and Shizune of the situation. Tell them this is an emergency of sorts and also of the circumstance. Also, I want you to go with them, just in case. Tell them to meet at the gate in an hour. Hi. Neko salutes and shushens out. Thank you, Naruto. Tazuna says. Hey, anything for a friend. Tazuna nods with a smile. Kakashi turns to his team. Okay, you guys, meet at the gate in an hour. Pack necessities, got it. We are already good, sensei. They say as they pull out a medium-sized scroll. We have things like clothes, food, water, medicine, and extra weapons inside here. So, we are good. Sealing comes in handy, Sakura says. Kakashi nods and smiles. Alright, see you in an hour. As Kakashi and his team shushin out, Sarutobi and Iruka have smiles on their faces. Team 7, Tazuna, Tsunade, Shizune, Tonton, Neko, and two medical nins named Hosho and Kido, both wearing full-bodied medical suits, are standing at the gate. Wow, didn't think S5 would be going out again. Well, at least we have more people. Shizune says. Yes, well, let's go. The faster, the better. Tsunade says as everyone nods. Because of Tazuna, they have to walk there. They walk as everyone forms a formation around Tazuna, but are talking with one another. Say Tazuna, do you know how this Gato person looks like? Naruto asks. He wears dark glasses, although over the left eye, he has a scar and an eye patch, which looks stupid as hell, usually wears dark suits, and has a cane with a stupid smug look on his face usually. He says. Everyone stops when they feel the temperature drop and a lot of Ki being raised. They see that it comes from Naruto and Tayuya, who are shaking like crazy. Tazuna, Sasuke, and Sakura try hard to stay standing. You mean to tell me that little Ing bastard is the cause of this? Naruto asks in a low, venomous tone. That piece of shit will pay. I knew we were gonna see him again, but this time he is Ing dead. Tayuya says, also in the same tone. Everyone, minus Tsunade and Shizune, back up as they stop shaking and the ki goes down, bringing up the temperature to normal again. They both have grins that say, Gato is screwed in every way. You guys okay? Sakura asks after she, Tazuna, and Sasuke sigh in relief. Not really. We meet that bastard when we were young. Naruto says. He made fun of Naru-kun. I hurt him pretty badly, but now it's death. Tayuya says. Everyone shudders at their tone. Sorry, but let's keep going. Naruto says as everyone agrees. They keep walking as they pass a puddle. Everyone minus Tazuna spotted it. Naruto thinks for a bit until he stops then turns around. You have got to be kidding me, what? Sasuke asks. Naruto walks forward. You have 2 seconds to come out, you two, or I will beat you. He declares as two figures come out from the puddle. Big words, little man. Care to back it up? One of the figures says. Gozu, shut the up. Now, why are you two here, damn it? Naruto demands. Gozu and Maizu look at each other. Who the hell are you to speak to us like that? Gozu asks in a demanding tone. Naruto Uzumaki, that is who. Now answer my question. The twins gasp. Naruto, what the hell you do to your hair? Maizu asks in a confused, but surprised tone. Naruto grows a tick mark. Who the cares right now? Now, why are you here? We were hired to kill the bridge builder. That is all. Gozu says quickly as they tremble. Even though Naruto is younger than them, he has the strength to do damage. Naruto calms down and looks at them. You are lucky we are friends because of what happened before. But, why are you here? Mei and the rebels won the rebellion. Gozu and Maizu look at each other and sigh. It's still bad, Naruto. We needed the money. Maizu says. What about the money I gave you guys? Naruto asks. It only helped by half. Because of the damage, only at least 3/4 of the village was fixed. But, because of the emotional damage from the war, almost a third of the people left. Naruto thinks about it as the rest of the group walk to him. Naruto, you know the demon brothers? Kakashi asks, confused. Yeah, we went to Kiri before we came to Konoha and helped the rebels. We met them then. Guys, why didn't Mei-Ne-chan send me a message? Naruto asks the twins. Well, since you guys helped us a lot, we didn't want to completely rely on you. Gozu says. Naruto sighs. Well, she is stubborn like most of Kiri. The twins chuckle. Yeah, that is true. But I guess now, we have no purpose to kill the bridge builder. Maizu says. The group, minus Tsunade, Shizune, and Tayuya, gasp. Well, seems like our group grew bigger. Shizune says. Everyone agrees. Come on guys, you can come with us and kill Gato. Naruto says. The twins look at one another then them. Yeah, alright, I never liked Shorty anyway. Gozu says. The group chuckles as they walk again and talk with one another. The group of ninjas and one civilian are now on 2 boats, crossing a body of water. The group looks up as they pass an unfinished bridge. So, that is the bridge, huh? Naruto asks. Yep. And it will help us bring in revenue and stop Gato. Tazuna says. Tazuna, we will stop Gato. I still need to give him some pain because of last time. Naruto says as they slowly move across. So, Zabuza will be waiting for us. Kakashi asks. Yeah, we could have gone ahead, you know. Gozu says. Yeah, but I wanted to stop him myself. He still owes me a spar. Naruto says as the group shakes their heads at that. The boats make it to the shore after half an hour. The group gets off as they wave to the boaters. They wave back and leave as the group walks forward. Why is it getting misty right now? Sakura asks. Everyone stops as Naruto turns to a bush. He throws a kunai and hears it impact something. He walks over and picks up a white snow rabbit. Naruto pets it as he glances at everyone. Get down, he yells. Everyone does as a huge sword whips past them and impacts a tree. As everyone gets up, they look at the sword and see a man stand on it. Well, this is a big group. Gozu, Maizu, what are you doing? I should ask you the same thing, Zabuza, but they filled us in. Naruto says. Zabuza looks at Naruto and recognizes the whisker marks. Naruto. That's my name. Don't wear it out. Zabuza chuckles as he jumps down with his sword in hand. Why are you here? He asks. Tazuna is a friend and we are escorting him home. We know why you are here, but is it true what Gozu and Maizu said about Kiri? Naruto asks. Zabuza nods with a sigh. Yep. We need the money. Naruto sighs. Again, why are Kiri ninja stubborn? Everyone chuckles at that. Hey, how is Haku? Tayuya asks. Hey, Tayuya. She is fine. Zabuza makes a whistle as a figure appears. The person stands there as they reach up and remove the mask on their face, revealing a very pretty girl. Haku-chan. Haku looks at Tayuya and gasps. Tayuya-chan. The girls run and hug each other. Before you two start rambling questions, let's get a move on to Tazuna's house. Tsunade says. Everyone nods and walks, talking along the way. Less than a half hour later, the large group make it to Tazuna's home. They walk in as Tazuna calls out. Tsunami, Inari, I am home, and I have guests. Everyone hears footsteps as they see a woman and child walk into the living room. Hi father. Grandpa. Inari run and hugs him. You made it. Yep, and I have a surprise. Tazuna says. Inari and Tsunami look at him confused until Naruto and Tayuya walk forward. Hey, you two, they say. Tsunami gasps as Inari lunges at Naruto. Ni-chan. Naruto catches him and hugs him. Wow, you have grown, little man. Missed me. Inari chuckles and nods. Hey, where is my hug? Tayuya pouts. Inari giggles. Sorry, Nei-chan. Inari jumps from Naruto and hugs Tayuya. Tsunami comes over and greets and hugs them. So, You are the ninja my father came with. She asks. Yeah, and he told us everything. Don't worry about money, Tsunami, we have everything covered. Oh, and this is Kakashi-sensei, Sakura, Sasuke, Hosho, Kido, Neko, Gozu, Maizu, Zabuza, and Haku-chan. Naruto says. Everyone greets each other. Naruto turns to Zabuza. So, what do you want to do? Go to Gato and come up with an excuse, or do you think he has eyes on you? Not sure, but it would be best to see if he does have other ninjas we don't know about. You sure he might have tried to double-cross us? Zabuza asks, wondering. Yes. Jiraiya did tell us he does this from time to time when he has no use for anyone. Since he wasn't a threat to Konoha, he didn't try to take him down. But now, we have a reason. Tsunade says. You guys are gonna take down Gato? Inari asks. Of course, Inari. That short fat bastard needs to go down. We heard what happened to Kaiza. He will be avenged, okay? Naruto says. Inari nods as he hangs his head. Tears come down as he hugs Naruto. Don't die, Ni-chan. He says softly. Naruto hugs back. We won't. Now, it would be best to sleep and tomorrow check out the village. Zabuza, you know the best way to draw the fat man out. He says, then asks. Well, the bridge is the biggest thing he hates right now, along with Tazuna. Zabuza says, thinking out loud. Maybe we could use that. Tomorrow, me and my team can watch over the bridge and Tazuna while the rest check the village and see if people need help. Kakashi says. They really do. Gato did a number here. Zabuza says. Naruto turns to Sasuke and Sakura. You guys up for that? He asks. Hey, of course. We didn't work hard just to get ours handed to us. Sasuke says. We will kick some, Naruto. Sakura adds. Good. But remember, do not underestimate anyone. That will get you killed the fastest. Kakashi says. Everyone agrees on that. So, will you guys stay or go? Tayuya asks the 4 Kiri shinobi. We will go and come up with something. Try to find out about anything. Let's just hope we don't have a small war later on tomorrow. Zabuza says. Shesh man, don't think like that. Besides, you owe me a spar. Naruto says. Zabuza chuckles. Yeah, I know, and you told me that you are a kenjutsu user now. Hope you can keep up with me. Careful Zabuza, my teacher was Neko here in class and not good to doubt on someone's skill. Naruto says as Neko glares at Zabuza. No one can see it because of the mask, but Zabuza feels it. Yeah, right, sorry. But, we will come back tomorrow. Night guys. Night. They say as the 4 leave. Well, I guess for now, eat, talk, and sleep. Tayuya says. Everyone's hungry stomachs agree, making everyone laugh. Next morning, everyone got up and ate then left Tazuna's home. Team 7 went with Tazuna while Tsunade and the medical nins and Neko went to check the village. Naruto left behind a blood clone and some regular shadow clones to protect the house. Right now, they are on the bridge watching the workers and Tazuna while keeping lookout. It is fine for a couple of hours until they see Zabuza, Haku, and the demon brothers jump on the bridge, panting and a bit bruised. Guys, what happened? Kakashi asks. Gato. You were right, Naruto, he did have other ninjas. Zabuza says. Before anyone else could ask, the sky darkens. The wind picks up as they hear thunder roar, but it isn't ordinary thunder. More like man-made thunder. They all look up and see a huge flying fortress with flying people coming out of it. What the is that? Tayuya asks, screaming because of the wind. Kakashi gasps. No way. Are those sky ninjas? As all Zabuza says. Sky ninjas. Zabuza says. Everyone in the village looks up at the sky as they all see flying ninjas. Shit. We have to hurry. Gozu, Maizu, go back to the home and grab Inari and Tsunami. I have some clones there, but I will not take any chances. Tazuna, you go too. We have to get all the villagers to safety. This is about to become a war zone. Naruto says then he looks at Zabuza. By the way, you jinxed us last night. That makes everyone sweat drop. The demon brothers nod as they and Tazuna head to his house. The workers head to the village. Naruto makes a sign then yells, Taju Kage Bushin. As he makes 1,000 clones. Go to the village and help the villagers. He orders as they see the Sky Ninja attack the village. The clones salute and run to the village. Naruto hands Zabuza and Haku a soldier pill. You guys ready to kick? Naruto asks. The rest of them nod. We need long-range attacks. Naruto glances at Kakashi and Sasuke and both nod as Kakashi lifts his headband and Sasuke activates his Sharingan. They make some hand signs and yell, Fire Release, Great Fireball Technique. 3 huge fireballs collide and become one as Naruto does another set of hand signs quickly. Wind Release. Great Breakthrough. He yells as a huge gust of wind hits the fireball and makes it even bigger and faster. Holy hell. Literally. Kakashi says, impressed. The fireball goes into the sky and explodes, taking out some of the Sky Ninjas. However, most see it coming and avert around it. The small group scowls. We need cover. Zabuza. Kakashi says. Got it. Zabuza does the hand sign and pose. Hiding in the mist technique. He yells as mist forms around the village, blocking anyone's view. Thanks to some training Zabuza did with Naruto and Tayuya back then, he found a way for friends to see in the mist. It uses chakra and makes the mist act like a one-way mirror. People can see through the mist while ones that Zabuza doesn't want to see won't be able to. The small group heads to the village as they see more ninjas come out of the flying fortress. Damn it, how do we take them down? Sasuke asks. We need to find a way up quickly. Naruto says. They all see the ninjas attack the village blindly, trying to hit the others down below. The ones on the ground dodge as they think up of a plan. Kakashi-sensei, you have anything that can get us up there? Tayuya asks. Sorry, but no, that fortress is too high and there would be no way to get up there by using a jutsu. He answers. Wish Gaara was here. He could float us up there. Naruto thinks as he looks at the ninjas. Well, maybe we can hit them with big attacks. Naruto turns to Tayuya and Zabuza. Guys, remember what we did in the rebellion when there were too many enemies? You mean when we made 2 water dragons and you controlled them for like 10 minutes? Zabuza asks. Yep. But now, we have a third. Naruto turns to Kakashi. Want to add another? Kakashi nods as he, Zabuza, and Tayuya make the hand signs. Water Release. Great Water Dragon. They each yell as 3 huge dragons made of water appear from the water going under the bridge. This attack was done with a Naruto clone. Not during the war, however. I knew I forgot something. Oh well. Naruto grabs his guitar and starts to play a soft melody. The eyes of the dragons change from light blue-white to red as they roar. Each one grows a pair of wings and take off, all flying in the air. The Sky Ninja gasp as they dodge the dragons. Well, most try. You guys hit whatever ninja come down. I can do this only for 10 minutes before the dragons disperse. Naruto says as the rest nod. They see the water dragons take down some enemies as Naruto gently plays the guitar. Sasuke and Sakura throw some shuriken and kunai then unleash some lighting attacks on them, covering the weapons in electricity. Some of the Sky Ninjas see the weapons and grab them, but become electrocuted and fall. Kakashi and Zabuza unleash some water attacks at the flying ninjas, making them dodge those attacks, but get in the way of the water dragons. A lot of the ninjas fall, but most recover. However, Tayuya and Haku have other plans for them. Haku makes some ice mirrors and sends a couple to the sky. She rains down Senbon on the enemy, hitting her targets as they fall. Tayuya hits the ground and creates some earth spikes as they go up and hit any stragglers and whatever ninja Haku takes down. It goes on until the dragons stop then explode in a shower of water. Haku takes advantage and freezes the water, catching any enemy ninja in it. She then explodes it and sends shards of ice in the sky, hitting more enemies, before melting away so the group doesn't get hit. They take down many ninjas, but barely make a dent. More come out of the fortress as if the place is like a hidden village. Damn it, more. Ugh, what now? We barely made a dent. Sasuke says, irritated. I know. Naruto bends down and does the summoning jutsu as Gamakichi appears. Hey, Naruto. The young toad greets. Gamakichi, we don't have time to talk. Look, go get Jiraiya and reverse summon him here. Also, send a message to the Hokage for backup. We are in trouble and outnumbered here by these sky ninja. Send a message to Mei-chan also if she can help. Will do, man. You owe me candy though. Naruto and the others sweat drop as Gamakichi puffs out. Damn him and candy, Naruto mutters as they see Tsunade and Neiko run to them. Hey guys, what is going on? Tsunade asks. Gato sent some sky ninja and attacked us. Naruto already sent a message for backup. Zabuza says. Okay, then, that means for now, we must defend the place. Neiko says. The only problem is that flying thing in the sky, whatever that is. Naruto says. They are in hiding since the ninjas keep attacking. What do we do? Neiko asks. We keep fighting. We just need to find a way. Naruto face palms. I am dumb. Tayuya, let's use some sound genjutsus and try to bring down some of the sky ninja and use them to fly up there. The rest of them chuckle at the face palm then agree with that. That means you two have to stay though. Sakura says. Not really. Tayuya says with a smirk. Both she and Naruto make some shadow clones as they walk out. They do signs and summon some instruments. There is a drum set with a Tayuya clone, a bass guitar with a Naruto clone, an electric guitar with a Tayuya clone and a mic with a Naruto clone. Kakashi, Sasuke, Sakura, and Neiko look at them oddly. You guys gonna play or something? Sasuke asks, confused. Yep. We call this our band jutsu and we can cast anything. Naruto says. Right now, we will cast one that will catch some of the ninjas up there. Tayuya says. Suddenly, the ground shakes as they hear explosions. Damn it, we have to hurry. Naruto yells. The Tayuya at the drum hits the drumsticks together 3 times before playing. Imagine any song from any band as long as it's head banging. The band plays loudly as some in the group move their heads. The sky ninjas wonder what is happening as some fall to the ground. The rest cover their ears as they look down at the mist. Suddenly, they see their fallen comrades come up, but with extra passengers. The sky ninja gasp as their enemies and fallen comrades head for them and attack, using jutsus or weapons, taking them down with force. Let's go to that fortress. Naruto says as they charge, flying there. The music is still playing, faintly of course. Inside the fortress, a man is watching outside, smirking at the carnage his soldiers are doing. Yes, this is beautiful. The nations will see that sky shinobi are powerful and everyone will tremble. Yes, of course. And I will gladly pay for everything. After all, someone needs to run the money. The man turns and narrows his eyes at Gato, who still wears his suit and has his cane, but on his face is a scar with an eye patch going over his left eye with his glasses on his face. It makes him look ridiculous. You better not betray me, Gato. The man growls out at him. Of course not, Shino-san. Gato turns around, scowling as he walks away. The man, now named Shino, turns back to the outside, but gasps then scowls from seeing his forces fall and sees other ninjas riding on his men. But how? He then hears music, which sounds like it is coming from them. Music. So, they are controlling them. Seems like Orochimaru isn't the only person that came up with using sounds to control. Shino walks away as the group flies overhead and onto the fortress. They kill the enemy shinobi as they run on top of the huge fortress. Damn, this place is huge. How does this thing even fly? Naruto asks. Not sure, but I sense a lot of chakra. Neiko says. Yeah, as too. Hope reinforcements come. Tayuya says. Meanwhile, back at Konoha, Jiraiya is in the Hokage office, talking with his sensei about some information he found out. So, You think Orochimaru and the Land of Sky are working together. But, didn't they die out? Sarutobi asks. I overheard one of his cronies talk about it. Not sure. Jiraiya says. Suddenly, smoke appears on the desk as Gamakichi appears. Hey guys, Naruto told me to send you a message. It seems the Land of Waves is being attacked by flying ninjas. Naruto said they are sky ninjas. He and the group need reinforcements and he wants your help, Jiraiya. He also told me to see if the Mizukage can help also. He tells them. Sarutobi looks at Jiraiya with a raised eyebrow. And we were just talking about sky ninjas. Alright, Jiraiya, you go, and I will send Team 9 with you and some Anbu. Go. Jiraiya nods and salutes as he puffs away. Gamakichi puffs out as Sarutobi calls on some Anbu and tells them the plan. In Kiri, the Mizukage is sitting on her chair, going over the worst thing in the world, paperwork. I swear, if I knew paperwork was gonna be this bad, I wouldn't have taken up this job. Mei sighs as she lays her head on her hand and elbow on the desk, hoping something would happen. Her wish comes true. A puff of smoke appears on the floor as she and the Anbu hidden inside tense. However, they ease up when Gamakichi jumps on the desk. Gamakichi. Mei asks. Hi Mei-san. Listen, I don't have time and neither does Naruto. Gamakichi starts. Naruto. Is my little cousin okay? Mei asks worriedly. Right now, he and some friends are fighting sky ninjas in the Land of Waves. He wants some reinforcements. Mei sits back. Alright, anything for my cousin. Mei stands up and calls out for Ao. Ao walks in and salutes. Orders, ma'am. Gather some groups of ninjas and head to Wave. Naruto is in trouble and needs backup. Mei orders. There is a group of Konoha ninja coming also, but he needs all the help he can get. I saw at least 1,000 of these flying ninjas. Gamakichi tells them. Mei nods. Expect them, Ao. My little cousin better not be hurt. Help out in the battle any way you can. Ao salutes and shushens away as Gamakichi puffs out with a peace sign. Mei sighs and sits back down, then sees the paperwork and cries anime tears. Why can't I go? She whines. The Anbu in the room sweat drop, but feel her pain. Naruto and the group are now running inside the place. Very big. We can't cover much being in a large group. Naruto says as they make it to an intersection. We should split up into 3 groups. Me, Tayuya, and Haku will go this way. Naruto points left. Kakashi-sensei, Sasuke, and Sakura can go that way. He points right. And Zabuza, Neko, and Ba-chan can go that way. He points forward. Tsunade smacks him. What did I tell you about calling me that? Naruto rubs his head. Like it matters. Damn, that hurt. Anyway, let's go. The group splits up and run down the corridors. Naruto, Tayuya, and Haku run side by side until they make it to where the barracks are. Think anyone is in here? Tayuya asks. Not sure. I don't sense anything. Naruto says. Same here. The girls say. The 3 of them check on the doors one by one. Each room looks the same. Single bed, dresser, and nightstand. Wow. These rooms. Tayuya says. Yep. The others say. They walk down the hall and find 2 more rooms. However, the one on the right has the lights on. Naruto makes a signal to the girls as they put their backs to the wall. Naruto stands in front and kicks the door in. They jump inside and gasp at what they find. Kakashi, Sasuke and Sakura run down the hall, then end up at what looks like a training ground. Kakashi looks around. Looks like Anbu headquarters almost. The 3 keep walking until they all parry some kunai being thrown. They look around and see they are surrounded by sky ninjas. Oh great. Well, I did want to fight close combat. Sasuke says as he puts the kunai away and takes out his katana that belonged to his mother. Sakura takes out another kunai to go with the one she already has. Kakashi looks at all the enemies with his left eye. Well, we have over 200 in here. This should be fun. Zabuza, Tsunade, and Neko run down the hall as they pass a door then stop. What the hell? Zabuza speaks first as the three go back to the door. It is closed, but there is an eerie purple light coming from the bottom. Zabuza opens it with caution as the three slowly walk inside. They gasp as they see what looks like a huge generator, but they see and feel dark, very dark chakra coming from it. Why is there so much chakra and why does it feel so dark? Neko asks, shivering a bit. I'm not sure, but it can't be good. Tsunade says, still being cautious. Do you think if we take it down, the place comes down? Zabuza asks. It might, but two things, there could be more, and it would crash on top of the village. Neko says. Good point. We need to move this thing over water then take it down. Zabuza says. And how do you three plan on doing that? A voice speaks behind them. The three of them turn and prepare for a battle. Naruto, Tayuya, and Haku scowl as they find the one thing they all hate, two more than Haku, Gato. He is in a room with some of his men as the men get up and get into a battle stance. You three are outnumbered. Gato yells. And you morons are in a cramped room. Tayuya points out. She and Naruto take out their instruments and play a melody. The men, except Gato, start screaming before blood comes out from their eyes, ears, nose, mouth, and even from their pores until they drop dead. Gato is shaking in fear as he walks to the back wall, his back up on it. What did you do? He asks, full of fear. Oh that was the death nightmare jutsu. Basically, we come up with any way for anyone to die. Even though it was seconds, to them it felt like days. Basically, Tayuya showed them different death scenarios until they felt like they were being squeezed, as you saw their blood coming out of their bodies. Naruto says in a bored tone. Gato has wide eyes and pisses his pants. Haku shudders at the tone. Damn it, he makes me hot. Lucky Tayuya. Lolo look. I can give you whatever yo-yo you want. Money, power, oh, we want none of that. Well, maybe money, but we can take that from you. You probably have a safe somewhere. Tayuya says. No, what I want is, not revenge, no, more like your death. Gato gasps. Why? You don't remember us, do you? Naruto asks. Gato shakes his head. It was several years ago, I think. We were in a casino and were walking out when you stopped us. Naruto thinks out. You threatened us and called my Naru-kun a girl. Tayuya hisses out. Gato's mind runs through his memories until one clicks. You were the one who kicked me in the nuts and broke my glasses. You bitch, I will kill you. Gato screams, but is cut short as Naruto's foot hit his stomach. Don't you ever call my Tayuya-chan a bitch. Naruto says coldly. Tayuya goes up and kicks him in the nuts, again. And, even it was long ago, never call my Naru-kun a girl. Both add chakra to their fists and hit Gato on both sides of his head, causing it to explode. They turn and see Haku, shaking a bit. You okay, Haku-chan? Tayuya asks. Haku slowly nods. Sorry, but we really hate this man. Naruto says. Tayuya, after wiping the blood, goes and gives her a hug. Ah, don't worry, we only are like that when people call us the wrong thing. Haku slowly nods again. I think we broke her, babe. Naruto says. Tayuya shakes Haku, who snaps out of it. You okay? Yeah, but you two are scary when you get like that. Haku says. Well, we try not to. Now come on, let's see what else we can find. Naruto says. The girls agree and run out of the room as a huge shockwave rocks the place. Kakashi, Sasuke, and Sakura are fighting the sky ninjas, who are flying around and attacking at random. Man, these guys are a pain. Sasuke says before unleashing a fireball at them. It hits a group of 5, killing them, but more appear. Kill 1 and 2 appear. They are worse than roaches. Sakura says as she throws some kunai and stabs 2 of them in the back, making them fall. Kakashi makes some clones and all are fighting 2 to 3 at once. That is before an explosion rocks the place and Zabuza comes through one of the walls. Zabuza. Kakashi exclaims as he kills the ninja fighting him and runs to his aid. What happened? Zabuza points to the hole as Kakashi hears Tsunade and Neko fighting someone. Earlier, Zabuza, Tsunade, and Neko turn to see a man with long brown hair and a beard to match. He is shirtless as he looks at them with a sadistic grin. Gonna answer me? Who the hell are you? Zabuza asks as he takes out his sword, same for Neko. Me. Well, I am the Sky Emperor, Shino. Now you guys, I could care less. Shino says in a bored tone. The three of them scowl and narrow their eyes. Why the hell are you doing this? Tsunade asks. To show the world the power of the Sky Shinobi. I will bring all the villages to their knees. Not gonna happen, the three say as they lunge at him. The room is big enough for a fight as Zabuza and Neko use their swords while Tsunade uses her fists. They get in close to Shino, but he disappears. The three of them gasp before all three are sent into three different directions. They get up and see the same chakra surround the man that surrounds the generator of the room. He has that chakra too. Damn, we might be in trouble. Zabuza says before he hears steam come out from somewhere. He smirks then makes the sign and pose. Hiding in the mist technique. He calls out as mist comes from everywhere and covers the room. Shino scowls and unleashes a wave of chakra to dispel the mist, but sees it come back in full force. Great. He looks around and wonders where the three are at until he gets slashed on his chest, back, arms, and legs, then gets hit on his chest, sending him to a wall. He coughs and gets up as the injuries heal. He laughs wickedly. Doesn't matter what you do. I have the power of the Zero Tail. He hears gasps. Zero Tail? Neko asks. Yes, the Zero Tail. A beast that feeds on the darkness of others. I have its power and there is nothing you can do about it. Shino unleashes another wave of chakra. The same thing as before happens, but sees Neko and lunges. However, he is a bit late as he gets cut up before he gets stabbed through his right lung by Zabuza. You can't compete with ninjas who have experience. Zabuza says. Shino just laughs before they feel an explosion. He grabs Zabuza and throws him across the room and through a wall. He takes out the sword and throws it away as his wounds heal, then goes on the defensive as Tsunade and Neko go on to fight him again. The two force him out through the wall as Shino is sent to the ground. Kakashi with Zabuza, Sasuke, and Sakura move out of the way. Zabuza stands and does a hand sign as his sword reappears in his hand. Tsunade and Neko come through the hole and all get into a fighting stance as Shino stands up. Who the hell is that? Kakashi asks. Before the three can answer. Dynamic entry. Two screams are heard as Shino gets kicked hard in the head and sent cartwheeling in the air into a wall. If the situation wasn't serious, that would have been funny. Well, technically, it was. Everyone turns and sees Might Guy and Rock Lee standing there. Guy. Kakashi asks incredulously. Hello, my eternal rival. I was sent to help. Guy says as he and Lee both stand there, making their good guy pose. An hour earlier. This whole section might get confusing. The clones of Tayuya and Naruto are fighting whatever forces come out from the fortress. Damn, where is the backup boss asked for? One of the Naruto clones asks as he kicks a Sky Shinobi. The mist cleared when the group left, and the Sky Ninja came down to fight. They and the clones went all out. I don't know, but these Urs are annoying. One of the Tayuya clones says. Right now, there are more Narutos than Tayuyas since Tayuya has fewer reserves than Naruto, obviously. Basically, there is a Tayuya to 10 Narutos. It started with 20 Tayuyas. The numbers went down though. They are trying hard not to do anything perverted, however. Tayuya will get that memory. So far, it is even since more Sky Ninjas keep appearing as soon as others fall. That is until, Fire Release, Toad Oil Flame Bullet, is heard as a huge flame hits the Sky Ninja, incinerating them as the village catches on fire. The clones scramble, anime style, to put out the fire as they turn to the source. Hey kids! They see Jiraiya on top of Gamabunta and Team 9 with them, along with some Anbu, Ow, and some Kiri ninja. You idiot. We are trying to save the village, not destroy it. They all yell at him, making him fall off of Gamabunta. Everyone chuckles as the fires are put out. Jiraiya recovers and heads to the clones. Okay, what happened so far? Well, we were attacked by Sky Ninja coming out of that. The clones point to the flying fortress. Both bosses and the rest of the group went up there. The villagers are safe in another part of the island. Right now, we are trying to make sure the village stays standing, but these bastards are not making it easy. A Naruto clone says as the others fight more incoming Sky Ninjas. I see. Jiraiya thinks. Hey, Bunta. The Naruto clone yells. What, Naruto? Gamabunta asks. Think you can jump up there? Naruto and Tayuya are up there. Bunta looks at the fortress. Yeah, what, you think I'm too old or something? The clone's sweat drop. Just a question, hey ow. A Tayuya clone greets. So, I am guessing Mei Ne-chan sent help, huh? Ao nods as he, his group, and Team 9 come up to them. Yep, Ao says. Good. We need help here. We are running out of chakra and these guys are like roaches. A Tayuya clone says. One of the clones burst as most pounce on the Sky Ninjas that interrupted them. Jutsus and weapons are thrown about as the group sweat drops then shakes their heads at that. Well, we are here to help, but I am guessing Naruto wants some help up there. Ao asks. Yep. He and Tayuya won't be able to send clones from up there. We have to keep the village safe. A Tayuya clone says. Everyone nods. Okay, we will defend the village. Ao says. Jiraiya looks at Team 9. While we head up there and help Naruto. Yosh. Guy and Lee scream as Neji and Tenten shake their heads at that. The five get on Bunta as he does a huge jump over the village and onto the fortress. Wow, he made it, everyone says as they start fighting. When Bunta landed, he causes a shockwave that sets off a reaction. Bunta sees if he stayed on any longer the thing would come down, so he tells Jiraiya to tell the kids hi and puffs out. Okay, let's go. Let's not waste time, Jiraiya orders. Guy and Lee somehow take that on as a challenge and head off into the place. Jiraiya, Neji, and Tenten sweat drop. Yes, Neji can sweat drop. They sigh and run off after them. Somehow, they lose those two as they go a good distance. Great. What is wrong with those two? Jiraiya asks, wondering. We ask ourselves that every day. The two say, making him sweat drop. Right. Well, let's go. The three of them run down a hall when they bump into Naruto, Tayuya, and Haku. Ow, Naruto says as he looks at the three that hit them. Took long enough. But, come on, I sense foul chakra, Naruto says as the six of them run down a hall. They make it to end and see Guy and Lee fight a guy with no shirt as the rest fight Sky Ninjas. The rest join in, Neji and Tenten helping out Sasuke and Sakura while Jiraiya and Naruto help out Guy and Lee. Tayuya and Haku help out Zabuza, Tsunade, Neko, and Kakashi. The Sky Ninjas aren't strong themselves, but are fast as hell. But all it takes is a little planning and accuracy. Thanks to Haku using her mirrors and Sasuke and Neji using their dojutsu, the group takes down all the Sky Ninjas as Guy, Lee, Jiraiya, and Naruto send Shino through a wall and into the outside. He crashes onto the ground of the outside of the fortress as everyone comes out. However, Shino stands up like nothing happened. Hey, if that is all you have then you are pathetic. Let me show you the power of the Zero Tails. Zero Tail. Naruto asks. Asa, what is this guy talking about? Asa, who was sleeping, opens an eye. I don't know, Naruto. I've never heard of a Zero Tail. It might be man-made. Be careful. Naruto nods as the rest stand ready to fight. Shino smirks as the fortress shakes and out comes a huge leech thing with a mask and what looks like fire hair strands. Everyone their heads to the side then gasp at seeing the leech grab onto Shino. Wait, what are you doing? He exclaims, but can't do much as he is absorbed by the leech. Well, that backfired on him, Tayuya says. The leech turns to them. and it wants more. Naruto says while he does some hand signs as the leech lunges for him. Wind release. Great breakthrough. He yells as he sees Kakashi and Sasuke do some hand signs. Fire release. Great fireball technique. Naruto blows out a huge gust of wind as the fireballs come together with the wind and hit the leech. The leech screams in pain and writhes on the floor. Well, that was easy. Sasuke says. Too easy. Naruto, Tayuya, Jiraiya, and Tsunade say together. Suddenly, the leech stands up. Nice try, but I am a Biju after all. The leech speaks in an evil, Betty White voice. Why not? Yeah, not really since there are only 9 and the 0 tails doesn't exist. So, you are probably man-made. Naruto says. The leech sneers, well if it could. Yes, you are right, but I still am pure chakra, which means unless a Biju is here, you can't kill me. The leech lunges again as everyone dodges. Damn thing, it's fast. Kakashi says. Very fast. Guy says. And we can't let it touch us or we die. Naruto adds. The leech lunges again as Naruto, Tayuya, and Tsunade hit the ground. 3 huge earth spikes come out and hit the leech, causing it to fall back hard. Guys, I might have to do that. Naruto says with worry. Jiraiya, Tsunade, Tayuya, Zabuza, and Haku look at him. You sure? Jiraiya asks. It said only a Biju can kill it. Sasuke, Sakura, Neji, Tenten, and Lee wonder what he means while Kakashi, Guy, and Neko gasp. Please don't hate me, but I have to do this. Naruto says as chakra energy is unleashed around him. Everyone gasps as the leech looks at him. No, it can't be. I have to stop him. The leech lunges at Naruto, but is too late as half of its body is crushed under a huge red paw. Everyone gasps and jumps away as they all see the 9 tails on the fortress. Everyone down below also see and gasps as the Kiri Nins cheers. The Konoha Anbus wonder why. Asa looks down at the leech. So, you are a Biju, huh? She asks. The leech struggles to get free as its body burns. Well, I am the 0 tail. It tries to argue. Yeah, that means shit to me. Even Shukaku is better than you and he is the 1 tail. Bye bye. Asa burns the leech with her paw until it disappears, screaming. Before anyone can say anything, the fortress shakes and starts tilting because of Asa's size and the leech being destroyed. Oh, this isn't good. Asa deducts as the ship starts to lose altitude and heads for the water. And we are heading for water. Everyone jump on unless you want to go for a swim. Asa puts her head down as Tsunade, Jiraiya, Tayuya, Haku, and Zabuza jump on her head. The others are hesitant. Get yours on here. You guys won't be able to survive a fall from this height. That makes them move as they jump on too. Asa runs forward to the part that is aimed to the sky. She runs over ruins and anything on top of the fortress until she jumps off, everyone holding on to her fur, which is soft and fluffy. Asa lands on the village, destroying some houses and shops in the process. Oops. Naruto-kun will be mad. She then looks at the falling fortress. Best to have that destroyed. She opens her mouth and prepares a miniature tailed beast ball. She then launches it at full force, the blast hitting the fortress and causing a huge explosion. Since the ship is already over water, most if not all goes to the ocean. There might be some parts going everywhere though. Asa lays her head down and her passengers jump off. She then changes and turns back to Naruto. Naruto wobbles a bit as he gets his bearings back. That does not get easier. How killer bee does that? I have no idea. He says groggily. Naruto, Kakashi says slowly as Naruto puts up a hand. I know. Let me just stop the spinning. I see 3 of each of you. He exclaims as he points to random spots. Besides, let's worry about the village first. I am sure someone set it on fire. Tayuya yells, glaring at Jiraiya, who turns away whistling. Everyone shakes their heads at that as the Kiri Nin and Anbu come up to them. You don't have to worry about that. All of the sky ninjas are defeated and most of the village is still standing. Ao tells them. Naruto walks up. Cool. Now, all that is left is to fix the place and get the villagers here. But before that, I think we should split the money we found. Naruto says. Everyone, minus Tayuya and Haku, look at him oddly. What you mean? Jiraiya asks. We found Gato, made his head explode, then found a vault full of goodies. Tayuya says, everyone shuddering at her cheery tone. So, how much? Tsunade asks. Only you would ask, Ba-chan. But enough to fix the village, help you guys out, pay us off, and still have some leftover, but I will give the leftovers to the villagers since they need it more than us right now. Naruto says. He gets hit on the back of the head, making him go down. He recovers though and glares at her. Damn it, that hurt. Stop hitting me, he whines, rubbing his head. Well, stop calling me old. Tsunade argues. But you are my Ba-chan, woman. He argues back. The group chuckles at their antics. But still, we want to know how you turned into the Kyuubi. Sasuke brings up, Genjutsu and Henge. Everyone just looks at Naruto dumbly. He just chuckles nervously. I guess that won't work, but before you say anything, GG already knows. Everyone that doesn't know that he could do that, nods. But for now, let's go get the villagers and check on them. We have to see if any sky ninjas found them. Not necessary. Everyone turns and sees the demon brothers, Shizune, Hosho, Kido, Tazuna, Tsunami, Inari, and the rest of the villagers there. Everyone is here and accounted for. Gozu says. But the village looks like hell. What happened? Maizu asks. Everyone tries to think of the best way to tell them. Well, sky ninjas or roaches who bombarded the city and stupid here burned part of it. Tayuya says, pointing to Jiraiya. Jiraiya sulks. You have to keep bringing that up. Yes. Tayuya says plainly. Everyone laughs as Jiraiya pouts. Well, me and the team are staying to help clean up. The Anbu can go back if you guys want. I'm sure GG wants a report. And yes, if you want to stay and hear of why I turned into Kyuubi, you can, but it's a long one. What about you, Ero Sennin and Gai-san? Naruto asks. Well, we can stay and help out. This village needs their flames of youth back. Gai says with fire in his eyes. If you and Lee go for a hug, I will not hold back in shoving my foot up yours. Tayuya says in a calm manner. The two pale then chuckle. I can stay too. Probably see if I can find some information on the sky ninjas and why they and Gato were working together. Jiraiya says. Everyone nodded as Naruto turned to Ao. What about you guys? We can stay and help also. Besides, Kiri and Konoha are in good terms since you did help in the rebellion. That and Mei-sama is protective of you. Naruto chuckles. Hey, that's my Nei-chan for you. Tazuna walks forward. And what happened to Gato? He died. Tayuya and Naruto say with a smile. How can you say that with a smile? Ten asks incredulously. We really hate the man. Hope he burns in hell. Naruto says. Gato is gone. We are free. One of the villagers asks. Pretty much, guys. Tayuya says. The villagers all break out into cheers and cry, hearing that their tormentor is gone. Before you celebrate, we need to fix the place. Lucky there is still some sunlight out, but only for an hour. We need to build and re-fix some houses fast. Naruto says. I can help with that. An Anbu with a mask that resembles a cat's face covered in green and red markings walks up. How so? Naruto asks. Better to show than explain. The Anbu says as he walks to where one of the houses used to be. He makes some signs then slams them to the ground. Wood release. 4-pillar house technique. The ground shakes as a 2-story, fully painted wooden house comes up from the ground. Everyone that has never seen that before, gasp. You have wood release? Tsunade asks, surprised. The Anbu nods. But how? It's basically a dead bloodline. She wonders. Let's just say it has to do with Orochimaru. I really don't like talking about it. The Anbu says. Everyone who knows who Orochimaru is, shudder. Okay, I won't ask then. Tsunade says. So, How many of those can you make before you get tired? Tayuya asks. Well, I do have another jutsu that can make a cluster of houses at once, but it is chakra taxing. The Anbu says. Well, we have the solution for that. Naruto says as he and Tayuya take out their instruments. How? Neji asks. The two demonstrate when they play a soft melody. Everyone feels themselves being re-energized like they had a good night's rest. You guys felt it? Tayuya asks. Everyone nods. That is out revitalize melody. Basically, whoever we chose to hear it will feel revived, even after the song stops. Tayuya says. However, we can only use it for 30 minutes or the body will have a negative side effect for 24 hours. Don't ask. We will play for 20 minutes until, Tenzo. Right. Tenzo makes enough houses and shops. The rest can help out with clean up or fixing other things here. Naruto says. Everyone nods and gets to work. Nighttime. It took the best of the daylight that was left as the rest of the houses and shops that were destroyed or marked unfixable, were rebuilt by Tenzo. Most of the shops that were fixable were fixed pretty quickly. Tenzo made furniture also for each home that needed some. Right now, the village is celebrating their newfound freedom after being tormented for almost 3 years. The Anbu, except Tenzo and Neko, and the Kiri Nin, except Ao, Zabuza, Haku, and the Demon Brothers, all left to give their report and head home, after Naruto split up the money they found with them. It was over 300 million ryo with other goodies. Naruto and the group that came with him are now in Tazuna's home. Well, Tazuna, Jiraiya, and Tsunade are out celebrating. The rest are talking with one another in the home. Tenzo is asleep, however, even with the revitalized melody. However, he isn't chakra exhausted, just regular exhausted. Naruto and Tayuya are on the roof, laying on it, watching the stars. Earlier, Naruto told them about how he became the Kyuubi. Reread the chapters when they are Kumo if you don't remember. There were mixed emotions in the room, but thanks to Inari, Tsunami, Tazuna, Tsunade, Shizune, Jiraiya, Zabuza, Haku, Gozu, Maizu, Ao, the Kiri Nins, and Tayuya, especially Tayuya, the ones who didn't know didn't hate or resent Naruto. They were all surprised to hear Kyuubi is female. And like always, the women cheered, making the guys sweat drop. Naruto sighs as Tayuya snuggles with him. You okay, Koi? Tayuya asks. Yeah, just tired. Long day today. Naruto says. Yeah, but at least the village is saved, Gato is gone, and the villagers have their hope back. Naruto nods and kisses her nose. Tayuya giggles. You know how I said we should wait. Naruto nods. Well, let's not, babe. I mean, not right now, but when we get home. Naruto looks at her. You sure, babe? He asks. Yeah, Tayuya says. Okay, anything for you. But, you do realize that Ba-chan will kill us, right? Well, it doesn't have to be at home. She tells him. Then where? I don't want anyone seeing your body since you are all mine. Naruto cuddles with her and tickles her, making her laugh. Tayuya squirms. I know, babe. Now stop, she says as she laughs. Naruto stops and smiles as he lays on her and kisses her deeply. Tayuya kisses him back as deep. Sakura, who came up to ask if they wanted dinner, sees this and wonders if her Sasuke-kun would ever hold her that way. She sighs sadly before knocking on the window sill. Hey, you guys hungry? The two of them turn to her. Yeah, be there a bit. Thanks, Sakura, Naruto says. Sakura nods and goes back downstairs. The two hold each other some more as they kiss. So, where you want to do it? Naruto asks. Where would be best? Tayuya wonders. Somewhere that Ba-chan doesn't find out and kill us. Tayuya giggles. True. Then maybe the hot spring. After all, we are in there anyway. Or maybe the shower. She ponders. Have you been reading Ero Sennin's books? Naruto asks with a raised eyebrow. No, but I have been writing my own just in case we need to bribe the idiot. She tells him. Not a bad idea. Naruto thinks out loud. The two of them kiss again deeply, then stand up and head back downstairs. Next day, the group heads out to help out Tazuna and the workers out with the bridge. However, Naruto, Tayuya, Zabuza, Haku, and Neko all go to a clearing. You are persistent, you know. You really want the spar, huh? Zabuza asks. Well, back then, I really didn't have much practice with Kenjutsu. But, thanks to Neko, I do. She said I was a B rank in Kenjutsu. Naruto says. And I am an A- rank ninja, or did you forget? Zabuza brings up. Yeah, so, I still want my spar, damn it. Naruto whines. Stop whining, Gaki. Zabuza says, making Naruto pout and the others laugh. The five make it to the clearing. It is big and wide enough for a big spar, but they just want a 30-minute spar. Neko does too, but wants to see how her student fares against someone with more experience other than her. She giggles to herself thinking, her student. Naruto and Zabuza get in the center and do their Kenjutsu stance, Naruto using the one Neko taught him personally. Ready, Naruto, ready. They both nod to Neko. Hajime. She yells as both of them lunge forward and clash. Naruto's double-bladed Uzumaki sword clashes with Zabuza's Kubikiribocho. Name will be revealed next chapter. Sparks form on the blades as they back off, then go back into it for more. Pretty strong, Naruto. Hey, I have been practicing and I am not a lightweight. Naruto grunts as he pushes Zabuza back. Zabuza smirks as he disappears. Naruto falls forward, but pivots his foot and turns around, clashing again as Zabuza tries to hit him from behind. Sneaky, Naruto says with a smirk as he disappears. Zabuza gets in a defensive stance as he turns and blocks a strike from Naruto. They go on both attack and defense, each switching tactics. Zabuza goes around him and hits him in the back of the head. Naruto goes down, but then turns to smoke. A clone. Zabuza gasps as he dodges another slash attack, then blocks another. Shesh Gaki, I thought this was gonna be Kenjutsu. True, but I got bored. That makes everyone sweat drop. Alright, but I won't hold back. Let's just use clones. Naruto says as Zabuza fights off 3 Narutos. Zabuza smirks and makes a sign, then 2 other clones appear and fight 2 of the Narutos. The Kenjutsu spar goes on as the 2 Zabuza clones are on the defensive while Zabuza is on the offensive. The Narutos slash and hack as their swords spark across the sharp side of the blade. However, the Naruto that is fighting the real Zabuza is using the jagged side of the blade. Turns out that even though the sword is double-bladed, one side acts more of a hacksaw than a blade. It can still do damage, but is great for defense. All Naruto has to do is switch sides with a flick of the wrist. Suddenly, the clones either poof out or turn to water as Zabuza and Naruto are standing in the clearing, both panting slightly. Very good sword skills, Naruto. I see you have a great teacher. Neko blushes, even though no one sees it thanks to the mask. Thanks. It is an honor to spar with one of the 7 swordsmen, but I guess time is up and Neko wants her spar. Both slightly bow as Naruto walks to the girls and Neko walks to where Naruto was. Good job, Naruto. Neko says. Thanks, sensei. Naruto speaks with a nod. Okay, so from the student to the teacher. This should be fun. Zabuza says. Likewise, Zabuza-san. Neko responds. Ready. Tayuya calls out. Both of them nod. Hajime. Neko takes out her katana, which is all black, the hilt, guard, and blade. Even the sheath is black. They both lunge at each other as their blades spark. Neko and Zabuza look at each other in the eye, trying to read each other's mind before jumping back, then going at it again. The two of them dance, considering Zabuza has a big sword. Their blades spark together as they clash, the sound ringing throughout the forest. Tayuya, Naruto, and Haku watch on as they see the two of them spar. Wow, I have never seen a fight at this scale before. Naruto says in awe. Yeah, and it looks like they are dancing. Tayuya says in wonderment. Zabuza and Neko are still clashing their swords, both having their free hand behind their backs to test their skills. Both go on the offensive and defensive as more sparks are created. The only sounds that are heard are the sounds of their swords, nothing else, not the forest, not them panting, or even their feet shuffling. Something you rarely see. I wonder if I could ever get to that level. Naruto wonders. With your skill and tenacity, you can, Naru-kun. Tayuya says. Thanks. You can too also, babe. Tayuya giggles as they turn to watch the fight. Haku sighs softly to herself, seeing them as she turns to watch the fight also. Both Zabuza and Neko stand at the center of the clearing, panting, but still holding onto their stances. You are a great Kenjutsu user. Neko blushes behind the mask. Thank you. You really held up your name as one of the 7 swordsmen. Zabuza smiles behind his mask. The 3 watching lean to one another. Is it me or are these 2 acting weird? Tayuya asks. I see it too. Haku says. You don't think. Naruto says as they glance at each other then look at the 2. Well, good spar, you guys. Naruto says. Thanks. Now come on and let's go check on the others. Neko says as the 5 head back to the village. 1 week later. Team 7, Team 9, Tsunade, Shizune, Hosho, Kido, Neko, Tenzo, Ao, Zabuza, Haku, Gozu, and Maizu are all standing at the end of the completed bridge, opposite of the village. On it are Tazuna, Tsunami, and Inari with most of the villagers there. You have to leave so soon? Inari asks sadly. Yes, little man, but don't worry, we will visit soon. You gonna take care of the bunny, right? Naruto asks. Hi, Ni-chan, he says, showing a toothy grin. The group chuckles. Well, thank you for everything. Tazuna says. Hey, anything for a friend, but keep in touch with us, okay? Konoha, Kiri, and Wave are allies now. Naruto says. Well, we will have to speak about that to Mei-sama. Ao says. Oh, calm down. Just say that Naruto asked. You know how she is about her little cousin. Tayuya says. That reminds me, next time call me up guys. You knew I was going to Konoha. Man, do I have to beat the stubbornness out of Kiri or something? Naruto asks. The Kiri nin sweat drop. Calm down, Yaki. At least now, things will be better. Zabuza says. Hope so. Naruto turns to Tazuna. Hey, take care guys and don't lose hope. You are friends of Naruto Uzumaki for life. Same for the rest of us. The others say. Couldn't come up with something on your own. Everyone looks away from that as Naruto and the villagers chuckle. Well, see you guys later. Naruto says as the group turns and walks away. The villagers wave goodbye as Inari sheds some happy tears. He wipes them then looks at his grandfather. Hey grandpa, what you gonna name the bridge? Tazuna looks at him then the disappearing group. How about the Bridge of Hope? The villagers talk with one another, but all agree. Okay then, this will be known as the Great Uzumaki Bridge of Hope. We should also put the names of the ones who helped us on it too in a memorial for Kaiza also. Tazuna says. Everyone looks down, hearing that, then smile and cheer. The huge group of ninjas walks along the road, talking with one another and stop at a junction. Well, I guess this is where we part. Zabuza says. Everyone nods and gives out hugs and goodbyes, except Sasuke, who just shakes hands. Hey, even he can change, and is because of a lot of things that are happening around him. Neji doesn't really do anything. Well, say hi to Mei-chan for me and tell her to visit sometime. Naruto says. Will do, Naruto. Zabuza says. Get there safely. Naruto adds. We should tell you that since I don't want to get on Mei-sama's bad side. Ao says, making everyone chuckle, except for one person. The 2 groups depart and head to their destinations, wondering if they might see each other again, well mainly Naruto, Tayuya, and Haku since they are close friends.